Then what does your fate have in store for you? Funny you should ask, Sensei. I think pretty soon it'll be all over for me. What? Why? This is so stupid. Can we fuck off? What is this? What is this? What is this? On first examination, kissing is pointless. It's not even a sex act. But in his pointlessness, he's making it deep for no reason. He's like creating a dragon to slay. He's like coming down here to go up when it was already up here. Like, it ain't that deep, bro. He's like forcing purple prose. Shut up. But in its pointlessness, he claims, it lets partners affirm their affections on a level beyond sexuality. Read his ass. Read him. What are you talking about? I'm not jealous of you. You sure? You look like you are. Either way, happy to be working with you. Above the waist, below the waist, eyes, hair. No T? He's also a philosopher. It's crazy how we're saying so much about this idiot. Like, who fuck him, dude? Look at him. This is so stupid. Like I said before, though, life is not an RPG. Just because she's attractive, that doesn't make you smarter. Doesn't make you better. That's life. Like, there's reasons for anybody to be evil. And for example, there's a lot of mean girls jealous because they have to compete for the attention, not the people who already have it, who are considered attractive. But in media, dang, he calling him a typical ass bitch. Wow. His ass and also this. I'm not reading this. I can't read this. I'm a lone wolf kind of otaku. Shut up. And I've never felt the need to advertise my interest. Okay, here we go. I'm scared. Okay, should be a fun one. Here we are, the beating heart of Ikebukuro. It's really taken over as Tokyo's otaku hub. over Akiba? Hasn't it? Akiba's a thing of the past. Well, it's good for diversity, but yeah. It so has. It's a total Fujoshi heaven. It's got all the stores, and the collab cafes have great merch lineups. It's developing its own community and culture. Haha, right? Physical spaces where young people can share their hobbies have only gotten more important in the age of social media. Not that I use them myself, of course. Yeah, makes sense though, it does. Well, both of those. His ass and also this. I'm not reading this. I can't read this. I'm a lone wolf kind of otaku. Shut up. And I've never felt the need to advertise my interest. I like what I like, but I keep it to myself. I'm not compelled to share my thoughts or impressions with the people around me. Look, they've even got an arcade. This looks so familiar. I feel like I've been here. Gotta milk those gamblers. Oh, Sensei, you don't have to be so sarcastic. It's busy here, though. Let's go somewhere quieter. That is a good joke, though. Nah, it's okay. It's semi. This old bookshop is one of my favorite spots. What do you think? I have to admit, the place has atmosphere. A selfie with all these books would do some numbers on social media and cast her as an intellectual bookworm to boot. Girls like her seeking out places that play into their image. Yeah, dude, you can't prove this. There's a simple pleasure in being surrounded by books. Here's my thing, though. And it's funny because we talked about this in the previous comment section, and it's like, what are you trying to say? If you say this 70 times, for example, what's your point? I'm better than you. I'm better than you. I'm better. Like, dude, shut up. And if you're not better, still shut up. Who cares? What kind of books do you like? You want to know about me? That's sweet of you. You should. Right now, I'm hunting for a rare book. You're into art? Interesting. But I usually come to places like this to go through old school fashion mags. It's so much fun to see what type of clothes were wore in the 80s and 90s. What do art and fashion mean to you? Good question. They let you live rather than exist. That's an interesting answer. I'll make note of that. Yeah, dude. Calm the fuck down. Yes, I read it already. This part anyway. But yeah, calm the fuck. I guess someone who puts so much effort into her appearance probably would have well-developed opinions about art. Her colors don't seem muddled. Let's take a peek into her heart. Like I said before though, life is not an RPG. Just because she's attractive, that doesn't make you smarter. Doesn't make you better. That's life. Like, there's reasons for anybody to be evil. And for example, There's a lot of mean girls jealous because they have to compete for the attention, not the people who already have it, who are considered attractive. But in media, it's better to have a come-up story. The winner winning isn't that impressive to some people. It depends though. There are likable characters like in Deadlock, there's Slash. They do a good job anyway. But even then, they have these people start from a unfortunate scenario and blah, 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 blah. Anyway. Can't judge a book by its cover, essentially, like he's doing. Okay, here we go. I'm scared. Okay, what do we click first? Let's try thoughts first. I close off my 5 mundane senses and look with my 6th and mundane. I have to stop. Shut up. An eye that only sees emotions. I feel its focus sharpening. Slowly, the colors of her thoughts and feelings come into view. The true Tenjiku Botan. The girl behind the mask, behind the username. The real face beneath her meticulous makeup. So let's click, he's actually pretty handsome. Not in an obvious way, so he's probably shaggy, which a lot of people can improve. Because one big thing is a lot of girls care about their appearance, you know? A lot of guys don't, but they want to be looked at anyway. Like, it don't work that way. Unless you're like just naturally handsome, like very, very. And even then, you can always do better by, yeah. So he's probably just shaggy, or he's insane. And he's like role-playing this shit, and she didn't feel anything. I don't know. But he has a real writery gloominess to him. See, he would say this, but I don't know. And look at those sickly eyes. If I walked around with him, everyone would think I netted myself a one-of-a-kind catch. Sure, he's a bit on the... Dude, why does it sound so typical? Like he made it up. But sure, he's a bit on the misanthropic side. But so are all the college guys. All the cynicism's just a shield they protect themselves with while they look for a way to stand out. I don't know about every guy being that way, but okay. A guy like him has a erogenous zone, even more sensitive than his tip or his prostate, his ego. Struck him there, and he's sure to look my way. So that's her deal. She ain't trying to use men to raise her profile necessarily. She's just out for validation. A relationship with a budding light novel author will be a potent weapon in the e-girl community, but she isn't necessarily lying about being into me or wanting me to like her. Human emotions are a complex color gradient, so this is why I think he ain't completely zero, but he may as well be because he yaps too much, and it's because he could easily kill her just for this if he saw it the wrong way. But no, dude, this is just real life. You know, people are complex like that. Sometimes you have a dark thought, like, what if I did this? You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you actually would do that thing. Shock humor, that this will be crazy, for example. Thoughts are complex, like he said. Even what I see is only one point of view of her heart. Her belittling of me and her reverence, her appreciation for my work, and her judgment of my appearance. They're all wrapped together. No one's feelings are a monolith. He's sure to look my way, though. That does pique my interest. Does he like what he sees? I wonder, does anyone his age want me? Anyone his age will want me. Even an otaku trying to act like romance is beneath him. Dissected his ass. But something tells me since it won't be that easy. He's still keeping me at arm's length. He's playing the aloof genius a little too hard, I think. Yes, he is. Just because he writes light novels. He thinks he can ham it up. Are all writers this way? It's like he's wary of me. He looks at me like he's sizing me up. He does, though. Like, dude, frame 1. I said that. I wonder if he's planning to use me in his writing. That's kind of hot. I wonder what he'd do if I put sex appeal on full blast. Is this for real? Is she actually saying this? I can't tell. That's crazy. Everyone does? That is so funny. What is this? But I mean, to be fair, though, I feel like he shouldn't do this. I'm trying to remember if they said it in the demo. I feel like if he did this, his chances at having a real relationship might get weird. Some people, they think too fast about it. Some people, they have regret about it, like a Tinder hookup. If they be friends afterwards, whatever. But if he wants a new friend besides his normal friend who seems kind of smart, I don't think he should do this. But I mean, you know, go ahead. It's his life. I don't give a fuck. Well, she's a regular girl in some ways. She's indulging in her sexuality under the guise of imagining mine, picturing me ravishing her to fantasize about being used by an outlet for male desire, desperate for an opportunity to affirm her body's worth. Hidden under that demure dress is a body burning with passion, but I won't be the one to feel her heat. The fantasy only lasts a second. By itself, it isn't enough to make her succumb to desire. And if it did, I think revulsion would still win out. Exactly. Well, you can't say for certain. I don't know, dude. She'd be disgusted that she got so carried away over just another man. She rates her own body too highly for that. I don't know about that. I can't tell. I do think just another. I mean, if she wants the benefits or whatever the fuck he doesn't have yet, then that's what's also stupid. When people who have money or fame sleep with girls who do this, and then they cheat on the guy and they act surprised about it. You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be, because you knew the deal. You can't act like people are supposed to be stupid when it's you. So like the topic from last time, it's like you think they can't tell that you don't actually like them and you just want to screw them. So duh, yeah, they might cheat on you because you're not serious either. And the deal was money. Her youthful hunger for pleasure clashes with a reluctance to sell herself short. In that sense, she's very much her age. I agree. I completely agree. I'm going to get this one, Sensei. Pretty. Okay, I forgot about this. I completely forgot about this. Here's our last stop. Botan's second favorite Ikebukuro spot. Isn't it adorable? I hear it's a replica of the Rio Sech Hotel. It's very fancy. You know, you look right at home in all this European decor. Haha, yay, thanks. She beams. When I pay thoughtful attention to her, she turns surprisingly genuine. Let me pour, Sensei. She picks up a teapot, looking fully at peace. Daylight streams through the window, glittering off the fine china and her thin layer of eyeshadow. It's chilly outside today, so this should be just the thing. You relax so much better when you're all warmed up. Thanks. You succeeded so young that I bet you're struggling in ways the rest of us can't imagine. If easing those burdens will help your writing, the least I can do as your fan is try. Saying a lot, to be honest. Is that true? Like, what the hell? Did my book really make that much of an impression? Honestly, I thought it was embarrassingly amateur. I know these are just a random girl's thoughts, but it just felt so desperate, you know? Like there's all this cynicism everywhere. But when you read between the lines, it's like crying out for affection. I just want to pick it up and hug it. I never felt anything like that about a book before. These are both her. I feel like they should put names next to these. Normally, I would say no, because it's different, but these two are both her. They must be. So it's like, it's kind of weird. That's gratifying to hear. That's the pause. I feel like they broke their own rule here. I feel like these should not be two different sentences. They didn't do that a single time so far. So later on, I'll think, is this really them or this other person? It's strange, like. This song is literally the old ball game, or Take Me Out to the Ball Game. That's literally this song. It's just different. Is that on purpose, like a home run type of thing? I guess. Of course that's how it reads. I'm trapped in an unending hell. My ability to see people's thoughts will bring me pain until the day I die. I wish someone could make it stop. You need therapy, I think. But I don't want to say. Maybe. Nah, fuck it, dude. Maybe. Yes. I won't find relief in others. People can never truly understand each other. That is not true. Like, it's so dumb. The usual compromise is coexisting in ignorance, but my condition means that isn't an option. My only exception, perhaps, is family, Sahana. That is so weird. Like, I don't believe him. I'm cheering for you, Sensei. I'll always be cheering for you. Above the waist, below the waist, eyes, hair. No tea? Let's do this. A cutesy Lolita dress. Its tasteful curves suggest a soft body and a slender figure. Someday, some other guy will come along who loves that body deeply, who will take her flesh and soul in his arms and looking at her, only her, forevermore. Oh, she meets the faithful man someday. Someone who makes her porcelain skin blush ruddy pink. From beneath my stupid ass, sunless, trashy ass rock, I'll watch the happy couple skip off into the distance. Oh, I'll cry in anguish. How sweet it must be to be human. Fuck him, bro. He sucks. I take it back. Maybe he needs a person to help him. I don't know if he'll deserve it though. Hair below the waist. We'll click this one. Beneath that innocent guise, she burns with desire. That's nothing to be ashamed of. Everyone feels sexual desire, men and women alike. Once you realize that, sexuality starts to feel less like a part of you and more like a detached thing happening on some meta level. At her age, those impulses are bound to lead her into misadventure. Sooner or later, she'll end up crying into the pillow. Oh my goodness. Sooner or later, she'll end up crying into her pillow after someone's urges exploit her. After many, he's so fucking stupid, stereotypical, and every person's the same. After many loves and abuses, she'll grow into a proper lady, with her head held high, perhaps. I might boast I can read people's feelings, but only God knows what the future holds. Yeah, dude, he always starts it off like he knows, though. Like, look at this, he says it. She'll end up. Okay, up here. Let's come up, you know. They say a girl's hair is an expression of her soul. If so, the ribbons in Botan's hair must symbolize the veneer of innocence she girds herself in. Her soul rustles as hot tea fills the cup. Every ribbon adds a dash of girliness to its sheen. No hands? Lips, eyes. Let's do lips. They say people are subconsciously drawn to water because it makes up more than half the human body. I don't know how true that is, but her dewy lips and eyes, like dark pools, are certainly appealing. Dark pools, huh? Creepy. Animals like to express themselves through mouth contact, or so I hear. Dogs like to lick their owners, for example. On first examination, kissing is pointless. It's not even a sex act. But in his pointlessness, he's making it deep for no reason. He's like creating a dragon to slay. He's like coming down here to go up when it was already up here. Like, it ain't that deep, bro. He's like forcing purple prose. Shut up. But in its pointlessness, he claims, it lets partners affirm their affections on a level beyond sexuality, as if you can't just want to kiss a person. What flavors of male affection have those pale pink lips affirmed, I wonder? Why do you care about this, though? That's so specific. Like, who goes on a date like that? And they're sitting out here like, oh, what guys have kissed her? Like, what the fuck? Her eyeshadow is distinctive and appealing red with a touch of sultry pink at the edges. I'm sure her naturally lidded gaze has stolen plenty of hearts without even trying. I guess because in Japan, a lot of people get surgery, or like Western eye surgery to get lidded eyes like this. Probably not males though. In males, I feel like in the West, people try to get hooded eyes, kinda hooded, where your lids are covered, which is why you see a lot of celebrities like George Clooney. You can't see his eyelids too much. Not in like a pompous way, but my eyes are kind of like that. Eye contact is at the heart of communication. Eyes touch, a mood sparks, and we mistake that instantaneous feeling for attraction, for love, or for friendship. That goes for more than just people. Dogs and cats make eye contact with their owners too. Gazing into someone's eyes is a sign of trust, an invisible coin humans have traded since time immemorial. Botan's distinctive eyes surely give her an edge in that crucial, establishing moment. Okay, he is right about this though. This is why people who say looks don't matter are stupid. They're like living too much online. It's like, or coping. It's like, dude, it isn't everything, but we don't know her, bro. We don't know shit. Even he can mind read and he can't tell where it's going to end up. And so it doesn't make sense to say none of this matters. Like, you got to find a reason to even look at a person, first of all, you know, and therefore it's like a balance. You can't think a person is hideous and like force yourself, you know, you got to feel something. So yeah, most people know that though. Most people know it. Sensei, see how impactful they are when you look directly at them. She knows how powerful her gaze is. That's why she wears such striking eyeshadow. Let's do this again sometime, Sensei. I'll message you, okay? Every time the world hurts you, come and warm yourself back up. Take all the good and bad it could do to a delicate man, and all those sights and memories and smells and emotions, and pour them into writing a wonderful book. You have that skill. You can experience sadness, experience suffering, and turn those dark, twisted feelings into words. You are born with that curse and that blessing. So let's get tea again sometime. I'll pour a cup for you whenever you want. I really, really loved your book. She seemed nice. She seems nice. I think so. Yes, what do you want? You met up with a girl, Oni-chan? That's new. You know, it's kind of spooky that you sussed that out so quick. You smell a bit different tonight, I think. I don't mind though. I'm glad you're still like the other boys in some ways. Hey, don't get the wrong idea. It wasn't some hookup. I was just gathering reference material, that's all. It seems like she knows already. That too is something other boys do. Get flustered and trying to deflect. Hey, there's no good way to talk about the opposite sex, is there? No matter what you say, everyone will interpret it romantically. It's such a pain in the ass. There's a good way. And it's about not taking it like it's a big deal and have fun with it. So it isn't her, it's you. How did you meet her then? She DM'd me. She said she liked my work and wanted to chat face to face. I figured I could get some material out of it. Plus, I was curious. That's all, I promise. Why is he promising? That's just his sister, like who gives a fuck? Oni-chan. What? He's trying to cover it up, so does he like her a little? I realize this is unusually boring advice for me to give, but you're a published author now, and that means you need to be more careful about meeting fans, especially girls. That's true. Go on. I guess that's a fair point. Yes, it is so far. Ugh, talking about women is a goddamn minefield. All human interactions are littered with misunderstandings waiting to happen. But this is the worst kind by far. I never get why so many people endure this torment just for the privilege of getting half of their life to someone else, giving. Just like the other boys, Oni-chan. Dude, can he shut up with this? He's so stupid. Yeah, and I wish I wasn't. Okay, bro, like, and like, grow up. He act like, okay, get over it. Whatever happens, Oni-chan, have no regrets. Done is done. I'll always be right here beside you. We'll always have each other, so it's all okay. No matter what happens, just remember that we're okay because we have each other. That way, we'll always be happy. That's nice of her. Don't kill me, please. Don't kill me. That was cute, though. That's it? That was quick. So does that mean, like, what's up here? A big-ass spider? Ah. So I don't get this because we already hit this. Is that automatically her? Let's see here. A ring, a monkey. Can I save? I cannot. So what do we pick? Let's try a ring, I guess. Don't know what that means, but I guess that's fun too, you know? Surprising. Okay, here we go. Will you take me out to dancing when I'm old? No miniskirt for me. Outshone by youth, will you take me out for a drive when I'm old? Cruising along the top down, wind blowing in our hair. Chisato Moritaka, even when I'm old. That's cute. That actually is. It's like simple, but you know. My sister and I are so weird that you must be wondering what the hell our parents are like. Well, they're perfectly normal. So weird. So what's funny about him is he's weird, but he talks up his sister to be eccentric and like fantastical, you know? For her, I guess so, because she seems pretty young. We don't know her enough to say how old she acts, but she seems like she ain't even a teenager. Maybe like 12? He actually, I don't think is that special. I don't think so. How? His powers, sure. But honestly, if you're just chronically online and, you know, you use Twitter enough, you're going to be like him anyway. You're either going to be like the people he talked about or him. His category isn't above theirs. It isn't. The only thing about him is that because he didn't seem like he would only mope all day, which, you know, doesn't seem to be breaking away from that much, that can make for a more interesting story. Because, yeah, his stuff can get ruined or he can go up and down. If he's already down and he kills people, that's less flexible. Because in this case, he can do both. So, yeah. But anyway, well, they're perfectly normal. Genetics is complicated. And yes, very rarely something happens that reminds me that we're really blood related. But I turned out darkly twisted, while Sahana's pale, sickly, incredibly smart. And now, well, here we all are. Darkly twisted. That is abnormal, but again, I don't trust him. We weren't born into a particularly happy household. Then again, it's not the worst. A new song, though, that's cool. My parents are fine with Sahana skipping school. And now that I'm in college, they don't really interfere in my life. They're arguably kind of neglectful, which isn't great. But on the other hand, at least they're not like those tiger parents you hear about. At night, our father wolfs down his dinner and disappears into his room. We linger at the table, eating slowly. Kinda looks good, though. Can I, look at this? Kinda dim anyway, huh? Is she okay, man? No, I mean him too, but I'm used to him being my moper. He's sweating? The fuck? Is it hot, bitch? Okay, let me see. My parents have their own worries, but for better or worse, they share a pretty typical outlook on life. They just ignore stuff and hope time will magically fix their problems, which won't happen. I know because I can see their thoughts. The problem is that their relationship has grown cold and it's begun to warp them. As they age, they're walking down the classic path of middle-aged sleaziness. Our mother's in some weird... What is this music? It distracts me, but it's funny, I guess. But our mother is in some weird battle of one-upmanship with her mom friends, while our father constantly cheats on her. They barely even speak anymore. I mean, she cheats too, no? Didn't they say that? The whole thing about being basically a prostitute? They didn't even say the father did until now, but I get it. But they stay together for appearances. They have some affection for Sahana, but since she's such a gifted child, they're hoping that she'll bring in the big bucks one day. So is she homeschooled? I would hope so. They seem to care about me too, in their way. So they do acknowledge her, in his opinion. I guess so. I'd say we're an average household, albeit one where family comes second to the mom petition and the whoring. On the surface, things look fine, but open up the lid and you'll see that our bonds are as flimsy as a sheet of paper flapping in the wind. I do get that though. I feel like people look at TV and it isn't usually like that. I mean, dude, TV plays up anything, but definitely I think it leads to you having such a giant contrast if life sucks, because it ain't very realistic. There are people with a good family though, there are, but it's just, yeah, they're all random people at the end of the day that you happen to be related to. So yeah, parents are just random people at the end of the day. Eat it. And some people have kids for them, not really for you, but to leave something behind for their own reason. But you didn't ask to be born. So when a parent is like, hey, they can't guilt trip you for having you. That's so stupid. When parents do that, it's like, yeah. Mom's pretty proud that her son won a prize for his light novel. She was resigned to me being a deadbeat for life, and she seems relieved that I finally got some prospects. Plus, it's something for her to brag about to her mom friends. I guess there's nothing wrong with boasting about your kids. Why would it be? What the fuck, dude? Why is he even saying it like this? As if he ruled it off like, you know what I mean? Check, it's fine. But because it's him, he's just so stupid. Had it been somebody else's parent, well, you know, don't be happy for too long, because those things don't. So, he blows. Like, see how easy that is to do that? He thinks it's like some superpower, but anybody can be that negative. I don't know. Maybe he does have a power. Still, I'm kind of sick of the way she brings up her novelist son and child prodigy daughter. Why though? Why does he care? I'm just grateful that she leaves us to our own devices. So don't plan on voicing my petty irritation. Yeah, it's very petty. Yes, it is. Still, I could sense her annoyance when it was almost revealed that her son writes light novels. Of all things, someone asked what kind of books I write, and she didn't know how to respond. It's not that I'm writing anything weird, but my parents don't even read. If they tried to read my novel, they wouldn't get it. Mom freaked out when the other parent, who did happen to be a reader, said they checked it out. Ha. That was she get. She brags about her kids while she herself is empty inside. That seemed to be the first time she became aware there existed novels that weren't considered high literature or whatever. What? You should read my book, Mom. She should, man. What the hell? Give me one book's worth of a housewife's leisurely afternoons. Man, she should read it. How can you survive on so little food? And we are so tall. I envy you. Mom speaks. All her worries revolve around her weight. Their abdominal muscles are starting to atrophy, and Mom and Dad both have developed muffin tops. I see. The more middle-aged they both become, the less they interact with one another, both escaping into the bottle. Of course, alcohol is only more empty calories. Mom started to take the Manjaro skinny jab she heard about online. It made her puke till her stomach was empty, and she lost her appetite for a few days. She did lose a little weight, but it sapped her energy, and she started to panic until she ultimately rebounded heavier than before. Call it karma. That ain't karma. Like, dude, can she lose weight? Fuck. Not that my father's any better. Apparently being middle-aged means you've got nothing to do but panic and run around in circles day after day. They're both having a prototypical midlife crisis. It's like a second adolescence where, yeah, some people have a second childhood in them. That's why some people are childish as fuck. But, well, obviously. But it's like a second adolescence where, now that the kids are growing up and getting ready to leave the nest, you start to question your own identity. There's no time to think about anything else when you're focused on raising kids. While I can't claim to have a career, it at least looks like I'll be able to financially support myself with my writing. And now their wrinkles deepen as they wonder what they're going to do with their lives from here on. Okay, let's eat this. SpaghettiOs? Can you get rich off a book? Mom is engaging in slightly off-kilter fantasies as usual. Sorry, Mom, there's no chance of getting rich without at least an anime adaptation. And even then, the kind of money you're thinking is a dream within a dream. Gonna take a while for me to get to a place where you two can lean back and kick your feet up. My son's so skinny and my daughter's so fair-skinned. It's not fair. Don't go getting jealous of your own kids. There's half of you in each of us. If you dedicated yourself to embracing good exercise and skincare habits, you'd be halfway there. The dedication is extremely difficult to muster when you're dealing with erosion indolence, peculiar to middle age. She's fed up in every sense, so she chose the easy route. But see, people find no fulfillment in a life without effort. Thus, she ended up having a midlife crisis. So stuff like this does make me think he does have powers. In her second adolescence, though, she's more late blooming Sakura than fresh spring bud. A piglet blossom, swollen and bloated on all the blood she suckled. Jesus, what is his problem? I'm getting tired of complaining about him, so that says something. Like, it's like an infinite chain of, you know, and a viewer will get tired of me saying it, like, doesn't end. He's off sleeping around while I'm here struggling. All a man needs to snag some dumb bitch's money. It's not fair. Everything is a target of her envy. Don't worry, Mom. Love for sale is meaningless. There's nothing to worry about. She can't forget how she used to shimmer and shine. She wastes her days trying to get back to a time when she still glittered. I need to stop snacking between meals. Maybe I should try Manjaro again. Wonder if I could get rich filming my gifted girl and showing her off online. Wait, I'd probably have to get her on regular TV first if I want to make the video sell. She's so silly, what the heck. Definitely backwards though. That sounds easier from her perspective, but if I wanted to have a good time. Why is it turning red? What the hell? She's turning red, dude. Maybe I should go to a brothel that caters to women. But what if I got saddled with a real ergo? Then again, anyone will be better than this bald old fart. I wouldn't say that. I mean, I understand it. Never mind. I was gonna say, They could have an STD, but he could too. How do all the other women married to old losers get their rocks off? Maybe everyone's going to brothels. Sure doesn't seem like a sign you're living a good life. Ugh, I wish I was rich. Same. Maybe one day, soon. Okay, let's see here. See? On and on, the days trudge. I wish I wasn't able to read people's emotions, but I was born this way. If either of them does anything to Sahana, they'll taste my wrath. Shut up. But so far, there's no sign of anything so dramatic happening. I looked it up too. This is like a calm, windless ocean. All of humanity lies stranded in the doldrums, carried slowly on the current towards death, idling through fruitless, pointless days. Listless, always listless. Thanks for dinner, Mom, Oni-chan. Thanks, Mom. I mean, it's only instant noodles. I'd put more effort into cooking if you two ate more. I guess she gains it back through drinking. Appetite control is directly linked to our base instincts. In middle age, people seem to become more and more faithful to said instincts. Our parents are caught between fighting their base instincts and giving in to them entirely. What will happen if they do give in? Dude, get a life, like whatever. I plan to take Sahana and leave once she's a bit older. Until then, I'll keep watching for the conclusion to this midlife drama. Could be dangerous for her, I get it. Good luck with that, bro. You shouldn't be so obviously suicidal, Oni-chan. You writers try to subliminate feelings like that into your work, right? Every word you write makes the urge more real, until eventually you've convinced yourself that suicide is your only option. Suicidal people don't just broadcast their feelings because they're attention seekers. They do it to resolve themselves, to push themselves to the point of no return. You can't die on me, Oni-chan, okay? That is so true. That is very, very true. Exactly. We need a translator because I can speak mute. Dude, she stays there until I click? Huh? What the hell? I have to click. That's cute though. But yeah. So what now? Another chapter. Okay, so that's two of them. This is probably the co-worker, to be honest. This is probably the ex-sensei. Don't know who this is. Let's try this one. See what happens. Yeah, I'm not sure who that is. Critics are men who watch a battle from a high place, then come down and shoot the survivors. Ernest Hemingway. I suppose so. I can't adequately express how much I don't want to go to Lit Club, but I can't stay away forever. What the hell, he's going there? I have connections to maintain here at uni, few and far between as they are. As a member of this pack of petty-minded pedants, I'm expected to show up and submit pieces to their anthologies. Being a published light novel author, I have a reputation to think of. The last thing I want is people going online to snipe at me. Look at Mr. Bigwig over there. He dropped the Lit Club like a hot potato the minute he got published. Participating in events is part and parcel of being in a Lit Club, but it doesn't mean I have to like it. They mean literally the literature club. I'm like, Lit Club. The one currently giving me grief is called the Bungay Farima, the literary flea market. It's the bookworm version of a nerd convention. People show off their novels and essay collections. It's about as interesting as watching paint dry, except I thought the same thing. But it has its fair share of fans, and the attendance keeps growing every year. You'd be surprised how packed the place can get. I believe it. Jokes aside, it's probably cool. Again, it ain't like the average nerd convention. There's a feeling in the air that's difficult to capture in words, but it's what makes the place a treasure trove of rare, niche pieces of literature. The only problem is the people. Large groups of people are subject to the complexities of human relationships, especially between the sexes, the lust, the need for validation. I hesitate to call it a subculture. A literature nerd lacks the straightforward simplicity of his anime counterpart, So a gathering of them becomes a royal turbulent of emotions. Lit Fleet is little more than a popularity contest for the big name authors anyway, and in that respect, I guess it's no different from any other nerd convention. I'm sure some attendees have genuine literary ambition. My club, though pardon my bluntness, we're simply playing pretend. We hacked together a shabby short story collection and tried to pass off this hodgepodge of words as literature. Why? Because we can. I don't know who would even want to read this crap. Take that money and go buy a volume of the latest hit manga. Don't waste it on patchwork of scribblings by wannabe amateurs barely out of high school. It's just a means to hype ourselves up or put each other down. For fun, dude, shut up. We tried, and trying is half the battle. That almost makes us real authors, we tell ourselves, coddling our collective wounded pride. As we press copies into the hands of our close friends and family, we keep hoping that maybe, just maybe, a brilliant editor will stumble upon one of us and lift us up out of the gutter. There's a less than 1% chance of that happening. Maybe, we say, maybe. This time, however, the power dynamic is all askew. See, I'm a published author now. Of a single book, yes. But so what? That's enough to draw out a handful of my fans, curious to see what this rising star has put out next, which should move some product. It doesn't mean much. Ultimately, when you have numbers and a publishing contract on your side, you're the king of the literature club. A shame I've never liked being king. Shut up, sure. Sure, bro, sure. I guess I get that. But whatever, dude. It still helps you. But I understand the mental part of it. It'd be one thing if my clubmates were supportive, if they could tolerate anyone but them having a scrap of talent. I just hate it. I believe them. I hate their envy, the most noxious of all human emotions. I get that though, I get it. Back to them, bro? Hey, yeah. So I'm gonna assume this time the star is the glasses guy. Who else do we have left then? Him, the co-worker, which was fun in the demo. Is that Sahana? Because technically she doesn't have one yet. There's zero energy in the club room. What else is new? Unless she has a secret one like at the top and we can't see it. Don't want to go up though. Kind of creepy. There's zero energy in the club room. But what else is new? Nothing. We're all here because we have nowhere else to go. The only time we pretend to be a proper literature club is when we have an event looming over our heads. The rest of the time, we sit around drawing away in the name of literary criticism. At first, we function like a book club, all of us reading the same books and convening to discuss them. Before long, though, we separated into two camps. Those who give a shit and those who don't. Yeah, exactly. It's hardly surprising. Literature clubs are a haven for people who don't want to be alone but can't be asked to be social. I wouldn't bellyache so hard if the others put in the effort, but they don't. They wouldn't know effort if it bit them. There's just one guy who actually cares. One upperclassman who possesses something like a spine. Oh no. The guy who sucks, yeah. Maybe a bat because he's like a bloodsucker. Cool music though. Look who the cat dragged in. Hasiya-kun. Hello, Hayakawa-senpai. How's the new light novel going? It's going. That's Hayakawa-san. He's in the year ahead of me, the third year. He's such a hater. Look at him, bro. Hating. We're meeting so many people this playthrough. Like, this game might be short, bro. Maybe like 4 hours, 5. I don't know, but it feels that way. Check out the death glare with an ugly son of a gun. He's got the personality to match too. Not that I have much room to talk on either account. Damn. He thinks he's ugly himself? The girl didn't think so. He said much room though. I hope that means you're making progress. It wouldn't do to keep your readers waiting while you finish your lit flea submission. Sarcastic bastard. Again, not that I have room to talk. You know why he brought that up? He's scoping me out. He's eager to hear that I failed. He wants to reassure himself that my first success was just a fluke, a flash in the pan. He's clinging to his position at the top of this little hierarchy by whispering doubt into every ear. So what if he won a rookie author award? He's a one-hit wonder. Things were so bad before my book came out, and I sure didn't ask him to feel threatened by me, but here we are. until I came along and ruined everything. Our club was all people who stood a snowball's chance in hell of getting published. Once he could base his ego on the superstition that he understood literature better than the rest. Now there's me hanging around, my mere existence, thumbing its nose at him and asking, where's your rookie author award? Nowhere? You never hear me actually say that, of course. That would be next level pathetic. Publishing a single book is small potatoes anyway, but to the average enterprising, 20-something wannabe, the distinction between being published and unpublished is night and day. Senpai tries to hide how much it bothers him, but he feels it in his bones. He's a failure. Plenty of time though, what the heck? I feel bad for him, but I'm not some bleeding heart. He's obnoxious, plain and simple. It'd be one thing if he could write worth a damn, but all he does is skulk around the club room and and internet message boards playing, what is that? He latches onto whatever is in the limelight and nitpicks it apart. Good critique is easy to spot. If it engages with the text, it's good critique. Most morons go hunting for what's not in the text, and that's the point. It's squibbling for the sake of squibbling. Anyone with a keyboard can say it lacks something, or I didn't get what they were going for. A real critique addresses the text for what it is. Why did the author write XYZ? How does that connect to ABC? We never get that from people like Hayakawa-senpai. The literary value of a critique is born from the critic's understanding of the text, and he doesn't form one. He's terrified that someone will blow the whole thing wide open, reveal that he can't critique to save his life. He read my debut novel and took it upon himself to offer me heaps of criticism, as any good senpai should. Was he wrong by any of it? No. And that's the frustrating part. Yeah, I left a lot of awkward constructs in the text. Yeah, my over-resilience on metaphor ruined several key tenets of the work. The emotional arcs were too abrupt, and my purple prose was a dead giveaway that I'm a first-time author. Oh, the author of this game is fine, but this character, he does overdo this every time. Even I blushed over that during a reread. He wasn't wrong. A big part of me wanted to ask, fine, but how come I won the debut award? If you're gonna ask this, then just ask him where his award at. I'm good at catering to the illiterate masses. Exactly, that's what he would say. The bad shit right there. This is so weird. It makes you wonder what's going on here, because almost like a funeral. Like, what is the bigger picture here? But we'll find out, I guess. We literary elites know my novel isn't worth the paper it was printed on. It's no wonder this talentless hack can't pump out a sequel. Yeah, he'd be a big ass hater, essentially. You're not wrong. Things are going slow right now. I'm looking forward to taking a break with this short story for Lit Flea. The main character's onto something. This shit is ace. Short stories make a perfect refresher between longer works. Remember, people will seek us out just to read your story. Try not to let the club down, will you? I'll do my best, but you should give yourself more credit. I, for one, can't wait to see what you produce. What? What is this smirk? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't write for a light novel audience. Not like you. He says as though he doesn't care for light novels. Thing is, this guy, he collects waifus. I think this snobbery about light novels being substandard lit is a new thing for him. He's just doing everything in his power to hold together his crumbling pride. He's directing the film of his own life, and I'm cast as the cocky upstart privileged with the power to turn out NL slop. He's starring as the literary genius awaiting discovery by the masses, and he won't let that little thing like reality get in the way. That's the funny thing about people. We're capable of convincing ourselves the most ridiculous things to safeguard our egos, and over time, the lie becomes foundational to our identity. Exactly. That's why you gotta be positive too, though, because you're more likely to try and you're more likely to get results. And the more you don't try, it gets worse. You create your own reality. Same thing if you're a coach and you have two students and you believe in one more than the other. The other one might see that and stop going, and he'll try less, he'll be worse. And then when he messes up, he'll go, I knew he was bad, which would then enforce him to not come, and the opposite for the other. It just works that way. Same if you're ungrateful about a gift, then you're gonna stop getting gifts, and then you'll be like, why don't I get any? It starts off as a self-defense mechanism, anything to avoid the harsh wake-up call that is reality, and eventually transforms into pure conceit. Someday, I will be one of the literary greats. It just hasn't happened yet. I'm not saying it's bad to have a competitive streak. I would have complained half as hard if Hayakawa-senpai wrote anything with any impact. He said this already. Even if those critiques he litters the internet with had a gram of insight to them. Alas for us all, he doesn't and they don't. He may be a competent reader, but he goes on to make it his whole identity. It must be torture to go through life as an utter snob. Indeed. He's also a philosopher. It's crazy how we're saying so much about this idiot. Like, who fuck him, dude? Look at him. This is so stupid. He is a he's also a philosophy major. Need I say more? Hey, if he's the bat and the coworker is the monkey, is Sahana the bug? His childhood friend might be a character. They didn't talk about him yet, and he has a portrait. Sahana might be somewhere though. He digs deep into his bag of tricks to convince his fellow members in the poser posse that he's so much more erudite than they are. Through a Heideggerian lens, that's not exactly Lacanian. You'd understand if you read the Critique of Pure Reason. Wrap up with a random rant bashing Darian psychology, and to the uninformed masses, you know everything. You can see why I have to cut him down to size. He's too fucking annoying. Right back at you. Don't go tarnishing your industry credentials now. In response to, like I said, I look forward to seeing what you come up with. Industry credentials? My god, man, we're in college. But enough wasting oxygen on him. I actually do need to lock in and make headway on my lit flea submission. Like Hayakawa Senpai, I hope to cultivate a reader base that won't knock a short story just for its length. Plus, I figure a published author's piece in the University Writing Club anthology could be a cool collectible someday. It'll probably fetch for a premium if I make it big someday, with anime studios lining up to adopt my work and all. So what is the point here is my question. Like, you know what I mean? Look at me getting ahead of myself. I'm acting like a kid. Perhaps I should look into Hayakawa Senpai's mind, just to see how much I riled him up. I guess so, may as well. So do we kill anybody? I mean, I don't want to. This is gonna be funny. Damn that Hasia. He thinks I couldn't make it in the publishing industry. What does he know? I don't write light novels, I write real-life literature. The standard for getting published is much higher in my field. I went over the readers with my rhythmic, Hemingway-esque. That sounds so weird because of way, like they're both an adjective. Hemingway-esque Locanianism. Genuine talents win every time. Anyone can lower themselves to winning a rookie author light novel prize. All that takes is following the trends. Write your dream girl and ta-da, instant bestseller. Write your dream girl. I mean, to be fair, people do be simping, so he has a point. He has a point. With a good design too. Now, if I was to write my dream girl, she'd be a demon girl, one of those misanthropic types. So basically our character, but gender bent. Give her the face of a fallen angel and the body of a preteen girl, which she'll have a complex about. Of course, the slightest brush against her by a mere mortal would make her shudder in horror, unless it's the protagonist. She doesn't mind him, in fact, loves him, and it's him. We're done. Please, thank you. Yo, same thing that time. Hell hath no cringe like the inner monologue of a wannabe author. You too, I mean, he probably knows that though. Props though, he's at least thinking about writing. That was kind of funny. What's your favorite work of Danzai's? Hayakawa Senpai. Heed my plea. And Akutagawa, the nose. Sakaguchi Ango, the idiot. How about Kanbayashi Shohei? More sci-fi than literary classics, but you know. I'm partial to Tonight I Sip from the Milky Way. Huh, I see. You see? You see what? Nothing. I'm not surprised to hear any of it is all. I love messing with him. It almost makes him bearable. What about you? Me? What's your favorite downside story? Yo, are they becoming friends? I don't think so, but that'd be funny. If I had to pick one, I guess Schoolgirl. What does he say about that? Huh? Interesting choice. He's clearly never read it. What if he did? That'd be funny. Damn. That could have been fun, but okay. So what are you planning to write for your short story, Oni-chan? Good question. Whatever fills 10,000 characters, I guess. That's like his best joke so far, I think. You should write a romance. About who? Hard pass. How come? The frown, hold on. That's cute. I don't like romance, and I don't write what I don't like. You really don't like romance? Not even in the literary sense? Nope. That's funny, when you're such a romanticist. Why do you think that? He literally is. Like the date said everything. Because you're always writing yourself into the story of your life. That is true. Whoa, stop reading. She's reading the game. Oni-chan, 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 Oni-chan. That's cute. Okay, that's cute. That's cute. What the hell? So every, I guess, little chapter we do something like that. Let's do the monkey. That has to be the co-worker. Maybe we go to the middle at the end. You don't need to understand, but tell me, am I all that bad? Lullaby, lullaby, it's time to part. Lullaby, lullaby, my jagged heart, the checkers. Yep, this is it. This is funny, I swear. I guess I should head out to my part-time job. The mere thought makes me roll my eyes. I'd rather forgo such menial labor and focus on my writing, but having just the one book published doesn't exactly pay my bills. I'd be a fool to quit my job. I'd blow through my royalties in no time, and then where would I be? The same place as an old hooker. Youth squandered from selling their body. There, the descriptions. There is no greater humiliation in modern Japan than working a part-time job. You trade your humanity, 1 hour at a time, for a measly 1,000 yen and change. Your boss is inevitably a high-handed tyrant. Your pay is abysmal. No one wants to work a part-time job. We do it because we have no other recourse. Doubly so if you're a night shift convenience store clerk like I am. The balding manager is always breathing down our necks, suspecting every underpaid peon of slacking off. I can't believe we're allowed to labor under such conditions. It's madness. Just the other day, a coworker of mine, 30-something, looked to be a decent enough guy, but was caught stealing sheets of postage stamps. A single postage stamp is worth no more than 110 yen, but a whole sheet could sell for tens of thousands. Those stamps really add up. I'm almost impressed with his resourcefulness. It helps that we barely talked, and I don't care when a near stranger steals handfuls of stamps. He ain't nobody to me, and they weren't my stamps. And aren't we all living paycheck to paycheck, trying to make ends meet anyway? We're all lunatics under the same thin veneer of social acceptability. Look at me, I'm nothing but a downtrodden, cynical college student. Damn straight. I work nights, but I hate interacting with people. My shift lasts from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. Night shifts pay extra. Of course extra. It's peanuts compared to the vast riches the esteemed office worker is raking in every month. My pay comes at the cost of no longer waking with the salubrious rays of sunshine. Yet there's no end of people desperate to snap up a little extra cash. Thus, they fall into the working nights pipeline. First you skip classes, then you repeat a year, then pretty soon you're dropping out. Am I on the roads of becoming a college dropout? I'm sure other people think so. They look at me and think he's throwing his life away. And they're right. I don't give a damn about college credits anymore. If I'm going to fail all my classes anyway, might as well drop out and focus on my writing career. It's cheaper than repeating a year. Did I sound fancy? Writing career. I'm a regular, starving artist, a bohemian. Yet to describe myself as a bohemian implies planning intention. But the truth is, I'm simply wandering my way through life. People who plot out their future aren't equipped to be writers. Or so I tell myself. I'm still writing this sob story in my mind when I arrive at the store I work at. The customers' brains have long since atrophied for lack of use. All that runs through their decaying matter is convenience. Convenience, 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 convenience. Of course, the workers are the same. All they think of is money, 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 money. Welcome to an alternate dimension where all that matters is clocking out the second your shift is over. I feel this, bro, because I was fucking. Even during breaks, they didn't even give me a break at my last job, so I was just like, fuck it. I never clocked out. But yeah. But anyway. Whatever. Vroom. Oh, oops. Yeah. Engines purr, cuts through the stillness of the night. Unfortunately for me, it heralds the arrival of my illustrious colleague, the gentleman with whom I have the pleasure of sharing this evening. He's a prick. So what's fun is the next thumbnail, I can make several people, because I was going to make it his date, but and maybe I could put her in the center, unless we get a banging Sahana illustration. That is the sister, so probably should have some focus over them. But as far as we know, I would bet money on it. Let's go. I swear he's funny. What's up, buddy? The picture of a troglodyte biker bro. He's got an awful shock of tacky blonde hair. He has the intelligence of a monkey and a lack of any other redeeming qualities. Yeah, bro, don't hate on him. Don't hate because that's not true. Granted, he's unattractive. That's probably how he managed to get by. His handsome looks and amiable attitude mask the dearth of brain activity. That is true. Statistically, people trust people who are good looking. People believe in them, or they give them credit. Like, they would assume he's good with women, for example. That's why people who even kill people, when they were stated to have charm, and literally a good example is the fucking Luigi guy. It didn't matter if he was guilty or not. Some people did not care. Remember that mugshot guy? He was like mixed black and something. Yeah, he went to jail, and there were so many memes years ago about get him out, he's attractive. They don't care, bro. People do not care. I know his type. He'll get a girl pregnant when they're both much too young. Now that's an assumption. This is a thing, but dude, and it's probably more likely to happen to, I don't know the number about that, to be honest. He realized he has to provide for his growing family somehow and run out to get a real job. Next thing you know, he's bought a giant car to take his happy family on camping outings and road trips. Here comes baby number 2. Here comes baby number 3. Oh well, what can he do? Better hop on down to the furniture store and buy a new crib. He stereotyped him so hard. He was big into motorcycles as a teen, and now he transforms his passion into a career in the auto industry. It helps that he's always been active. He does good work. He's yapping so hard. Let me see, he yells at his kids when they screw up. He blubbers with pride at their school plays. He never thinks a complex thought, and he lives a happy life surrounded by his wife, kids, and similarly, boneheaded bros. All hypothetical, of course. Yes, I could tell. Don't you think it's strange how backwards all this is? Why is society set up to reward the morons and punish the thinking man? I've never seen the Cretan look unhappy once. It's just not fair. It ain't an RPG. This guy could be smarter too. I don't know if he is, but that's life. Like, people act as if, you know how many horrible people are hideous and are mad because this guy gets girls and get even madder? Like, that's just how it is, man. It's like, you know, and thinking only does so much, which is what I said last video. You don't get bonus points for doing nothing or talking to yourself and nobody else aside, like you're close, whatever. This guy is more likely to treat people, like more people, in like a fun way, you know, and get on their good side and be a bro to them. Obviously, they're going to defend him, they're going to pick him, they're going to hang with him. It doesn't matter if you're smarter. You have to influence another person or they don't care. That's it. Like, that's it. Like, he doesn't even need to be that smart. Don't want to be dumb, but get that's funny as fuck. Read his ass. Read him. What are you talking about? I'm not jealous of you. You sure? You look like you are. Either way, happy to be working with you. Biker bros are society's animals. No wonder they have sharp instincts. They rely on it to survive. That explains why my coworker is so good at reading people. Kind of like me. He hones his survival instincts because that's the only thing standing between him and disqualification from this rat race we're unequipped to run. And also, people confuse street smarts with emotional intelligence, by the way. They'll say book and street, like as if street is everything that ain't a book, which is just stupid. If he was married, which I don't think he is, imagine he didn't open up and that caused a rift in his marriage. That has nothing to do with street. Our shift begins now. I step out into the store at 10, taking over for the high school kid who's been here since 6. The glint of energy in the kid's eye sickens me. I can't stand high schoolers and their enthusiasm for working. They don't know what the night shift means. They don't need to. The despondency. The black ooze that seeps from the checkout counter after 10 p.m. This is the witching hour. The time for us undead to creep from our crypts unmolested by the light of the sun. This is vitality and love for work reversed. You mind manning the register, dude? I'm gonna go restock the shelves. Night is the time to replenish goods and pull food off the shelves that's reached its expiration date. We must do what we can to send off the hardworking adults and the cheerful young college students to their happy, fulfilling days. Silently smiling, we work, a labor of love for the living. I ring up a handful of shoppers that trickle in throughout the night in between cleaning deep fat fryers. The stench is horrendous, a product of the buckets of oil we feed these machines to pump out the buckets of food to feed us. Every uneaten piece of junk food I toss in the trash makes me curse this culture of mass consumption further. Who the fuck? The overnight shopper decides he's overweighting. He yells out the number of his preferred brand of cigarettes. 514. Let's see, got it. 514, you said. One moment. Hurry up, brat. I hate the people who come in to buy cigarettes. They're the worst. Who do they think they are? Ordering me around with their numbers? I'm not a convict. Yes. An ugly floozy is curt with me. Give me 417. An ugly floozy. This one, right? Maybe she reserves her smile for patrons who stuff 10k yen bills into her bra. Jesus. 616. Found it fast. Sure it's cut out there, huh? This one's a small talker. I don't mind the chatty types, but something about them breaks my heart. Not in a big way, and not in a way that I can put into words, but my heart is nonetheless broken. I understand it, like they're trying to make it kind of like, it may not be that, but there's something like the silence of it, and you know. They say it's gonna rain tomorrow. That right? A shame. We exchange some words of little substance, and time drags on. It's better when there are customers. Almost makes the agony bearable. The thing is, a night shift is a battle against time. The goal is not to look at the clock. Its sluggish hands only inspire rage, which is why it's better what he just said. An interaction can make the minutes fly by. Yeah, we all know. Can make minutes fly by. The true trial begins after midnight. Once the train stops running, shoppers drop off to nothing. There's no one to talk to but your coworker, and there is nothing to be done but slowly, laboriously, excruciatingly prepare for the morning rush. It is ennui, alleviated to an extreme. Ennui. All right, that's good enough. Let's sit back and kick it. That's so funny. It's just, why does this song play? Like he started this up. You got it, Dokudami. Sitting back and kicking it, it is. This guy's got a hell of a surname, Dokudami. It means chameleon plant. It fits him, that is his benefit. I've heard tales of convenience store workers using fake names to put off mean customers. But this man would never need a fake name to deter would-be complainers. Between his name and his punk appearance, he was born to work the night shift. That's pretty fucked up, but I hear you. A lot of bento boxes to throw away. You want one? It's fried chicken. We switched into, let me see. He offered that? Let's go. I think it was him. We switched into slow mode once the customers are gone. We have a list of things to finish by morning, but they'll get done eventually. Mopping the floors, cleaning the bathrooms, restocking the bottled drinks, that sort of thing. No more than 2 or 3 hours of work, even if we chat while we work, and take our sweet time with it. If we're slow enough, we can make the work last until the morning rush. Then the commuters fill the store and tie me up at the cash register until 8 a.m. Rolls around and my shift ends. I collect my paycheck, 10k yen or near enough, and head home. I'm gonna hit the slots after work tomorrow. They got a promo going on. You should come with me and help me enter the lotto. I'll buy your ticket off you if you get a good number. A convenience store night shift is, therefore, a matter of waiting out the clock with a coworker, exactly like you said. The nature of the coworker determines the difficulty of this exercise. Prior to Dokudami, my last inmate was a fatso in his 40s. What is all this, man? He peaked in high school and wouldn't let me forget it. I saw him drooling over internet escorts during breaks. Sex. It was pure torture. He's gone now, and good riddance. Yeah, I hate that. I hate that so much. Some people, they mention, like, for example, their fetish is feet, okay? And it's like, okay, cool, whatever. I don't care. Why would I care about this person's fetish? But fine, okay? Then the person makes it their whole personality, their bio. They only talk about that. And it's like, there's a point before it's like, dude, what? It's so strange to me. It's so weird. So I completely get this because I don't know what to say. And I don't want to like exchange like stuff with them. Like, I don't care, man. Some people make this a whole personality. You know a lot about computers, right? You know anything about crypto? Here's a good investment. If you're interested, try it. Must be us. I know a crypto app you could download. I don't, by the way, but Google will remedy that. I don't know. Tried it once. Got confused when it came to making the wallet thing. I don't see the point in a bunch of work if it don't pay off in the end, you know? That's why I was asking you how it worked. If it was that easy to make money through crypto, everyone would be doing good. Yeah, figures. Guess I'll stick to pachinko. Why don't you put money into the government investment account? It's called NISA. You could build up a decent amount over time. A what now? A Nissan. You're telling me the government goes about giving people cars? That's wild, bro. Hook me up. I gave you a chicken bento, so you owe me. Get real. If the government handed out cars, I wouldn't be working this crummy night shift job. Yeah, figures again. It's decent of him to ignore the way I treat him like shit. Long as you know. He annoys me, but at least he's mildly entertaining. I can't be bored with him. Certainly never enough to try reading his mind. Still, I don't want to get too chummy. Biker bros are petty crime. I have to look this up. It is a person who tends to fall back on bad habits. Recidivist. It's better to keep a careful distance, I compartmentalize. He's the guy I talk to until morning comes, and then we go our separate ways. What made you start working here, Dokudami-san? The money, man. They don't care if I dye my hair either. All the money's done by the cash register. I don't have to use my head or nothing. And who could pass up free bento boxes, am I right? True. More like bento boxes are sneaking out of the trash can, but okay. That said, there is a tacit agreement that we can take whatever expired food we want, provided we keep it on the down low. The manager would chew me out if I got caught, but I quit on the spot if he tried to yell at me, and he knows this. To keep the peace, he makes sure we fulfill our bare minimum obligations, otherwise, through our own devices. You know what we're treated like? Brownies. Helpful fairies who tidy up the store for the next morning and vanish at dawn. We're barely humans in his eyes. I believe you. You do any drugs, Hasiyachi? What are you, a cop? Ha 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 ha. No, sorry. Just curious. I'm not trying to push nothing. Some. Dude, I'm kind of mad I talk like this. Nothing. Trying to. Whatever, bro. That's it. This feels more natural to me than nothing. Like, I have to like. Anyway, nothing new to people who watched me though, but or the last video even. Some. I pop a sleeping med every now and then, or the odd mind-altering substance. Never enough to get addicted. Getting high off sleeping meds? What's that like? He said he don't. Nah, not that kind. Newer sleeping meds don't have that weird amnesia effect. They're safer that way. You're thinking of older medications. Am I? Well, I don't know much about sleeping meds. I conk out the minute I hit the sack. Is that all they do? Make you sleep? Don't need that. Yes, that's all they do. Which is why they're called sleeping meds. They were called this before, even when they had a side effect, so therefore, what you said is wrong, actually. I'm talking with a man with an IQ of 5. That said, it is nice to hold a conversation that doesn't require peeping into my interlocutor's mind. There's a feeling of safety almost. I don't have to think before I speak. This rare degree of spontaneity whenever we shoot the shit represents to me the platonic ideal of a casual conversation. Well, I'm glad he's seen it that way at least. The whole point of life is enjoying it. If you're not having a good time, you're doing it wrong. You've got the meaning of life all figured out. Huh, Dokudami-san? Sure do. We're here, so might as well make the most of it. I don't get all your cynicism, Hasiyachi. Feels like a waste of time. Cook him. You can think all you want, man. But if you ever want to live a little, you know who to call. By live a little, you mean never think about anything? He didn't say never. Haha, you say that, but you're just as dumb as me. Me dumb? Yes, sure. Neither of us knows shit. That's why we live like a couple of dumbasses. Overthinking is a waste of our time. Leave the thinking for the eggheads. That's my motto. The brainiacs can dream up a world for us, and punks like me can sit back and nibble on the fruits of their labor. It's the way for everything, even pachinko. You only gotta play on promo days when they rig the machine in your favor. I put serious effort into never thinking seriously, and it pays off big time. That's how I feel about positivity. Like I put not everything into it, but I put like a ridiculous amount of motivation towards it. And that's what gives me peace, because I skip to the end of stuff, or I figure stuff out, or if I have an issue, I bring it up instantly. Try to solve stuff so I can have peace. No time for weird ass drama and all that shit people love for some reason. It's unfair how quickly he and his ilk can see right through the heart of the matter. No wonder we're overthinkers. We nihilistic nerds never stop bashing these animalistic punks. We're as incompatible as oil and water. The island, right? Fucking love that place. Cute girls everywhere. Cute guys too. You think they're hot as chicks, and wham, they pull out their dick. 2 for the price of 1, you know what I'm saying? You get to play hella loud music all night long, grab someone for a lay, and fall asleep right there. It's awesome, bye people. They got this saying they love, right? Mai Pin Rai. It means do whatever, man. It'll all work out. Those guys are pure optimists, so no matter what happens, they're happy. Yeah, mentality is everything. You have to put things into perspective. For example, just being a Japanese citizen grants you greater privileges than most of the globe. Exactly. Doesn't matter if you're jobless and poor. Mai Pin Rai, man. Mai Pin Rai. Why the Thai are doing their Mai Pin Rai thing. A bunch of white dudes are coming in and turning the country into a tourist attraction. Next thing you know, tourism powers the whole damn economy, and locals get price out of their homes. Now there's no stopping it. The whole country's a drug den and a fuck palace for the white tourists. Let me tell you something, Hasuyachi. You can't care too much, but you also can't let people walk all over you. You can't let people beat you, because they'll take everything. You saying there's someone you want to beat? God, I guess. Whoever was irresponsible enough to make this world so damn unequal. If I can make some money for doing very little, have some fun, live the good life, then I figure that makes me the winner of this stupid game. Make a little cash at this job, win more at gambling, get rich. I'm set for life. I'll die and wake up to a big you win screen. Assuming you win more at gambling. Assuming shit. If I lose, I'll just keep going. Actually, it's more important to lose a little. Exactly. You gotta have something to aim for. Something to keep you hungry. That's why I aim to win and take a little loss on the side. What matters is having a winning mindset. You never want to lose on purpose. I told you already. You gotta keep fighting with everything you have. Keep losing and keep taking it easy. That's dumbass life philosophy right there. You put some real thought into this. He's actually smart. And you know something else? This isn't even entirely like street smart. He's clearly just smart about life even. There's like styles to living, but clearly this is a valid strategy. Sure, being a punk's all about the mindset, the aesthetic. Anyway, here's a vape with a little extra in it. Got it from Thailand. See? Here comes the petty crime. Not that I care. Not that I care. Morality can fuck off. We've got some time to kill. Wanna light up with me? You just said you weren't gonna push anything. He didn't push it. Smoking alone is no fun. But hey, if you don't wanna, that's cool too. Never hurts to try something new, I guess. Here, your turn. Also, it's not even illegal. I mean, the government doesn't know about it yet, so it's pre-regulated. I don't care what the law says. Doesn't really matter. We'll get fired if we get caught. Man, who's gonna care? Even if they see us, the security cams, they'll think we're just vaping. Fair. There's a kind of wisdom that comes with being a punk, a part of fair lifestyle, I guess. But why not? If he gets caught, I'm fired anyway. I might as well join him. I take the penny offers me and raise it to my mouth. I'm not sure what to do, to be honest. I've never even smoked a cigarette before. Dokudami has the gall to snicker at me, but I try not to let it get to me. I'm too creeped out by the thought of letting my lips touch something he had in his mouth. You gotta inhale. Make it go down and into your lungs. Cough. Didn't like that. Haha, you'll get better with practice. What's supposed to happen now? Don't know. We gotta relax and enjoy it. Some people have a bad time on their first trip. But hey, my pin ride. Ugh, I feel kind of woozy. That's how you know it's working. Honestly, thank God for getting high. Only thing makes these damn night shifts bearable. His brain laughter rings inside my skull. Meanwhile, the clunk of air conditioner falls into a rhythm that's oddly soothing to my ears. Now I understand what people mean when they say they talk about auditory stimulus bringing pleasure to the brain. Dude, what is he? What the fuck is this? The music makes it worse. Look at this. What the heck, bro? Hey, Hasiachi, how you liking this? I don't know, it feels weird. Man, you're stupid. You're weird for slumping over and muttering to yourself. You gotta enjoy it, laugh it up. We're both being weird. Even thinking is becoming too much of a bother. Some part of me wants to give in to this lethargy and let myself relax. Is this what it means to turn your brain off? Maybe Dokudami is onto something. If we're both weird, then his no-brain approach is by far the easiest way to live. You'll be okay. This isn't even that strong, man. Right. Let's get back out there and restock some shells. I might be able to, but you shouldn't. Your eyes are too red. No one's gonna notice. People who come in this late are all crazy anyway. That is so true. I mean, fair. That is 2 facts. Like, they're probably high too, the hell. I managed to barely wobble through the rest of my shift at a snail's pace. I've never seen the sun stabbing so bright, and I hate it. Dokudami, on the other hand, is waltzing off to the pachinko parlor. I was going to yell at him for getting me high, when he claps me on the shoulder with a big grin and says, "That was fun. I just don't have the heart to tell him." Off. It's only for a few hours anyway. I can go home, sleep it off, and return to my old gloomy self. Unfortunately. But until then, my Pinrai. Exactly, dude, exactly. Like, that's why people like him. Then people will cope and try to, like, remove it for women. Like, what are you talking about? Like, if you think he's cool, what do you think they think? Or anybody into guys, whatever, you know. You stayed up all night, Oni-chan. And you're still awake, Sahana. It's not healthy to be up so late. It's healthy to be awake at 9 a.m. That's school time. But you're not going to school, are you? You should go every now and then. Even I go out for work. True. What a good boy you are, Oni-chan. Your eyes are kind of red. No, she knows. Oh yeah, society is cruel, but you can't give in to it. You're not allowed to cry. I'm not giving in. I'm not going to cry. Screw society. You can't conform to it either. You fight it, and you interrogate it. Never forget that. The world is a cold place, and you don't need to adapt yourself to it. I talk to people at work, you know. There's this dumb dropout kid, though he's actually got more going between his ears than you think. Is he your friend? No, we're not friends. I talk to him because he's there, that's all. Uh-huh. There are some things you can learn by watching from afar. Sahana knows. What do you mean, us? The fourth wall shit? No. What do you know? Come on, I'm off to bed. Find a book to read or something. Then he's trying to abandon her. I'll stay beside you till you fall asleep. Sure, if you want to. I do. Good night. While everyone else is at school, I'll sit here and read. I'll read lots and lots of books and learn about the world through their pages. Yeah, I'll keep borrowing from the library then. Thanks. In this world, he who finds happiness wins, Oni-chan. Sleep well, Oni-chan. Good night, Oni-chan. Good night. Okay, we should get a new Sahana ending. I've often wondered whether I truly hate people or if I just get off on saying that I do. But recently, I've realized that both essentially amount to the same thing. Yes, they do. Because it ain't positive. If you feel that fulfilled, you know why, bother. Can I click this? I can't. Up here? This is so odd because, like, how come when you finish one, they don't get a special color? Okay, the bug is the last one, so let's do this. I guess it's last. I'm a caterpillar, always hungry. I'm a caterpillar, always feeding. The human share, the caterpillar. Okay, so a new song. So that'll be cool. Yo, Hasia. Still haven't fixed your posture, huh? You look like a hunchback. Damn. What is this? Oh, caterpillar type shit. Seeing my buddy for the first time in a while. If I describe this as bros, it gives the impression that we're closer than we really are. It'd be more accurate to say we're used to each other. Two weirdos together get to pretend to be normal. Pretend to be normal, but I thought he was normal anyway. Also, if this is the case, go back to Dokudami. What the heck? Gotta hang out with Weevil. Not Weevil from Yu-Gi-Oh! we get together to hit up otaku stores. It's been our thing since middle school, but now that we're at different universities, our interests have drifted apart, and we only hang out every few months or so. Still, our connection has proved resilient. So I suppose in the end, we really are bros. I don't think you are, but I don't know. Nice to see you haven't changed, Igusa. He looks like a fucking biker bro. From my perspective, he's matured with shocking ease into a nerdy student with no particular special qualities. He plays the latest mobile games, buys merch, talks about anime du jour, sometimes a little gambling. There was a time when he was more passionate about this stuff. But with the pressure of completing his dissertation and job hunting, he started to talk more about his real life than fiction. Basically, he's hiding out in his this will be funny because I see this part. Basically, he's hiding out in his college chrysalis, soon to emerge as a corporate drone. God. From his point of view, he'll have his fair share of struggles, but from an outside perspective, I'm sure it'll be smooth sailing. Why does he have fun like making shit up? Like, we don't know. That's cool, but I don't know. He'll start working, and while grappling with the tension between personal fulfillment and the daily grind, he'll earn a decent salary and get into a decent relationship. The next natural step will be marriage, and then he'll do his best to raise the kids in a somewhat stable home, ultimately passing his hopes and dreams to the next generation. Ain't necessarily a bad thing, but to be a creative person, normality is the enemy, though there's no malice to them. The banal words and gestures of these normal people chip away at the creative heart. When I joined my university's lit club with a serious focus on writing, I couldn't hide my scorn at the way they all acted like writers with a capital W. Most people have a fleeting dream of being an author at some point in their lives, but 99% of them never achieve it. The goose, of course, silently betting that I give it up to pursue a real career. When he wished me good luck, there was no sneer hidden behind his words. He did, though, expect to make jokes at my expense later, whenever I grew bored of the creative life. A pretty typical mindset. Dang, he calling him a typical ass bitch. Wow. How did that turn out for him? There's something awkward about him today. While he leers at an anime girl keychain in an otaku shop, he's surreptitiously gauging my reaction. In my presence, his actions resemble a caterpillar's crawling, wriggling grotesquely along the ground. His mind is overcast. The average person is easily swayed by power and authority. To a regular college guy with job hunting worries on his mind, a published author who won a debut prize is, in terms of hierarchy, up in the stratosphere. Inferiority, jealousy, envy, it all blends together in a confusing, murky emotion. A sludgy, dirty gray, like when you mix together all the paints on your palette. He's fallen into this stagnant murk. He looks like he's hating pretty hard to me up here. Don't know if that's just us. You'd think, upon seeing his friend again after so long, he'd greet me with a congratulation on my achievement, but he couldn't do it. Oh, I believe it now. His blended pride and guilt torment him over his inability to celebrate his friend's new start. The disparity between his emotional turmoil and his attempts to act natural remind me of a caterpillar's wiggling, twisting walk. What anime have you watched lately, Igusa? Anime? Oh, look at it. Look, I called it. Anime? Oh, you know, this and that. Dang. He's being vague. He don't want to talk about nothing. His emotions are shifting into fear. Desperate to protect his own self-esteem, he breaks into a cold sweat. He's afraid to voice his thoughts on anime and manga, to reveal his preferences to an author. This is what I was talking about before too, about the friend zone. You start treating people like they're not human, and eventually they're like, what the fuck is your problem? And it's a turnoff. Then you make them nervous because you're nervous, but he dreads coming across as shallow or leaving a vulgar impression. Nah, fuck that, he ain't even answer. I'm more about books these days. That did not help. Yeah, figure, you're an author now, after all. This guy sucks, but hopefully it's at least fun. The sense of invincibility by university students is a complex thing. You graduated high school and officially became an adult. You're tasting freedom for the first time. The web of your relationships grows. You can stay out past 10 p.m. without getting yelled at. You can drink and smoke at your own discretion. It's like that feeling in an RPG after you finally finish the long-ass tutorial, when the map opens up and there's an entire world to explore. Also the reason people fail, because is too much and they do whatever. He must have felt like he can do anything, and he must have been deeply wounded to discover the vast gulf between that sense of power and freedom and the realities of life. Freedom breeds inequality. The popular kids breeze through life. So this actually is true. Not in totality, but people act as if, again, the whole come up story thing. But think about it. People who are popular are usually good looking, have money or charisma, or a combination. If you had two people, like, yeah, there's the whole thing about somebody having none of that and becoming big, literally more effort. It does happen, you know, and these people can peak and not do anything, but it's literally two people and one has a better hand. The other one could be driven, but then these people can also be driven, right? Would you say somebody who's good at football, like the star, isn't driven? You know, so it depends, case by case, but there is an advantage. People don't talk about it though, because it doesn't feel good. The gap between him and his peers widens. He goes on social media and he finds some guy he remembers as a fellow outcast who has gone viral with his shorts. All the while, his insecurities and biases relentlessly hollow out his still developing soul. Igusa is desperately trying to prevent his pride from taking a beating. Up until now, he's had the upper hand between us, being the one looking for a real job. Comparatively, I was the wannabe writer working the night shift at a convenience store. If my books never went anywhere, I'd be cast out into the world and left to rot in a dead-end part-time job. By then, Igusa would be moving forward as a gratefully employed member of society. I chose this path, so I didn't care, but my chancy lifestyle put his mind at ease. Igusa's not at all that clever. I expect his university life is at best mediocre. I rarely read any hint of self-confidence from him. I guess, bro. I feel like we all know this already. Like, it's pretty... Once you said he was a hater, we all know the reason. There's an anxiety, like he's trying to convince himself of his own validity. That's what it's like to be a waste of space. At the same time, a sense of relief. At least I'm doing better than Hasuya. Damned to part-time hell forever. In the hierarchy of fellow failures, being able to scrape by as an office pleb becomes a form of identity. Not even him, but the author. He don't need to write this. We get it. It's pretty obvious. Once our excruciating hike through the otaku shops is over, we head to the cafe. Igusa starts vaping and his confidence increases slightly. Seems like he wanted to show off that, yeah, he's a student and he can do this kind of thing. A gray haze, fainter than the chaotic brain fog of his emotions, clouds my vision. Perhaps feeling that he has the edge now, he finally broaches the main topic. So, how does it feel to be a big shot author? Let me see. Damn bitch, he's still mad. He still ain't fully over it. Adding that snarky big shot is him trying to make himself feel better by taking a dig at me, acting like I don't have talent worth real respect. He's still trying to convince himself that my prize win is a fluke. He sounds like the other guy from the club. He might even be right. After all, I haven't published a follow-up yet, so I could end up a one-shot wonder. I'm still a newcomer, a baby who's taken one small step. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If he actually is doing this, just tell him, right? And leave. Like, I wouldn't even bother. Like, he says all this stuff, but then, like, in real life, tell them, dude. Stop thinking it. And if you don't know, then shut up. Still, from the perspective of your average otaku, it's like a giant leap to the moon. You said this already. It's pretty rough, to be honest. I don't know what I'm going to do about the sequel. Pretty sure winning the debut prize was just a fluke. He said this. Nah, man, you got this. You got that special something, you know? Well, that's cool. To be fair, haters do this. If you play down, they do kind of go up to, like, disguise themselves because they feel guilty, but they're still a hater. At least he didn't agree. Still sucks, though. When I play it down, he's obviously relieved. At least in terms of our interactions. When he gets to play the good friend, calming the nervous newbie. He feels like he's a step above me. Is life the constant repetition of these charades? No. That shit moved. What the heck? Hey, you're the one who writes those long, passionate posts where you get all philosophical about the reality of moe anime. I'm not gonna say it this way. Actually, that reminds me. My lit club's putting on a Zine soon. Why don't you contribute something? Are you serious? No way. I can't submit something like that. I just write whatever pops into my head in the moment. He's right about that. His posts are slapdash trash. Not even worthy of polite praise. Still, people online are probably impressed by their sheer length. People like to go herring off after new pursuits, and this dabbling shoves their face into their own limitations. Through this process, they transform. His posts are cobbled together from the provocative opinions found on clickbait news sites. Whether you're gushing over something or tearing it apart, any extreme position garners reactions. And some people did respond to his essays, giving him a tiny taste of success. The good thing about Igusa is that he's finally, though I don't know about how long it'll last, but is that he's content with that. He won't get delusions of grandeur and start writing more biased pieces, seeking praise from people who already agree with him. He's nothing if not a coward. He chose a college degree and a workaday life, so not to stray from the societal herd. You're a lucky guy, Hasia. Girls are going to be throwing themselves at you at the lit club. Depressingly, a university student's life passion seems to always boil down to sex. He wants to see whether I'll steal a march on him and be the first of us to get a girlfriend. I mean, we knew this was true. This was pretty... It's funny because we knew it already. Funny how that is. It's one thing for him to accept my talent has been rewarded, but it's another, more terrifying prospect for his friend to taste delicious fruit before him. To a horny college guy, realizing that your friend is more attractive to the opposite sex is a crushing defeat. He's praying that I at least won't be a hit with the ladies. Maybe it's okay for me to send him home with a little taste of that bitterness. It might light a fire under his ass and push him to change. That's true. That's what I was saying the whole time, that people can still change. Now, I don't know if he will, but yeah, dude, people know people besides you, funny enough. So I guess we'll mention our date we had before. This is the maximum hater test. I don't know. I haven't really gotten any of that at the club, but I have had some DMs from e-girls and cosplayers and stuff. He said it in such a casual way. Wait, for real? What girls? Are they hot? How many? Wow, he devoured that bait. At least try to hide your thirst. I'm not really interested in them, but I can see why they're confident enough to slide into people's DMs. They've got the looks. Seriously, dude? He's genuinely shocked by this revelation. Yeah, he's a complete fool, but it's kind of endearing. He fits the dumb but pure stereotype. But people don't like being pinned on the wall. They wriggle. Hey, why don't we meet up with one of them together? Fuck no. Even if we did do this, why do we need him there? Is the question. We know the reason, and he's trying to be like, prove it. But yeah. Have you seen the shit filters can do these days? We can see how they compare in reality. How sleazy, how vulgar, down to the way he casually offers a rationalization for him to meet these girls. As though I can't see right through him. He's still hanking his meager hopes on the belief that he'll have more luck with the women than me, thanks to his prospects of stable employment, that I'll come off as a misanthrope, and he'll glow by comparison. Deep down, though, lies the more frivolous wish that he might get to meet a cute girl. Every reaction is as I expected. He feels at ease when he can look down on someone else. He becomes slavish when he knows he's been outstripped. A caterpillar, squirming along exactly as programmed. A vile, pathetic caterpillar. Still, here in Japan, there's a reasonable chance that, if you put in a reasonable amount of effort, you can be reasonably happy. We all start with a huge advantage simply by virtue of being born in this country. Count your blessings, Igusa. Are we done here? Fuck him, bro. Like, who cares? I think with this game, if it turns off some people, it'll be purely what you expect. The pessimism and the amount of time spent on people annoying as he is, the main character. Some people might want more point and click stuff. I'm okay with that because I came in seeing it as a visual novel, purely. So I don't mind that at all. But yeah, as you start your new life and your new career and metamorphose into a functioning adult, you forget all about me. We're headed down different paths. The only thing I'm sure of is that we need to put a healthy amount of distance between us before we can hurt one another and grow disillusioned. Damn, a literary master's life is a lonely one. Okay, cool. Can we leave? Thank you. That shit was quick, but good. You've got an even stranger look on your face today, Oni-chan. Really? I can't tell. What do I look like to you? Kind of like you have a guilty conscience. What's that supposed to mean? Be concrete, guilty about it? You met up with your friend today, didn't you? Yeah, he probably feels bad. Yeah, I'm guessing he was weird about you becoming a published author. Kinda, yeah. It takes a lot for someone in his position to offer sincere congratulations. Did it make you feel good to see him squirm? Can you read minds now? I'm playing at being you. You're the one who enjoys deciding what other people are feeling. Really? That is exactly it. Wow. I can't really call myself an author. I guess not, but your book is published and available nationwide, and that's proof of some level of recognition. Not enough for a second printing. I'm in the red now. I'm just a burden on the publisher. Still, your talent is becoming recognized, and that's amazing. Yeah, relax, man. It's nice while it lasts. Adults are sure to have it rough. I'm sure the time will come when it's your turn to feel inferior to your friend. We never know where life will take us. I don't care about other people. I suppose that's relatively true. Talk about loaded phrasing. Well, for as long as we're alive, we'll always be fighting against people in our heads. I suppose that's true. Oni-chan. That's why you gotta be positive, man. Because yeah, shit's gonna happen anyway. You may as well mitigate what you can and control what you can. Yes, that again. What's happening? Like, okay, so what now? Uh-oh. Okay, what now then? So let's go back to the fox, I guess. I don't know what to do here. So let's see what happens. Okay. Longer than I thought it'd be. The inspiration that turns nothing into something does not come idly. It requires rummaging through stacks of notes, pacing about with arms crossed, sighing deeply, fretting over wasted time, fighting the temptation to rehash, jotting down ideas as they come and then rejecting them all, drinking coffee, despairing that your talent has dried up, taking eye drops, washing your hands with soap, reading back over your notes again. You must hold firm through all of this. Got it. So what's next? Date 2 or... Even Hoshi Shinichi, who would tell you ideas don't come easily. When the words don't flow, they don't flow. I stare at my notes apps trying to think of a good idea for the light novel, but the page stays stubbornly blank. Eventually, I give up the act and tab over to my browser. Before I know it, I'm scrolling through a fellow writer's feed, muttering, "Go on, tell us how much your editor loves you, you son of a bitch." I don't really have any strategies for dealing with the writer's block. At this point, it might even be worth going outside. I hate going outside. There's no reason having an unpleasant experience should summon inspiration. But where I am, no prosperous source is too illogical. Give me a witch, a palm reader, an author. Writer's block is the ultimate torture. Makes sense. I understand. So do we have a date again, or life must be so easy we can go out under the sun? Daylight makes the brain release a mood regulating neurotransmitter called serotonin. These guys get happy just walking around, while we authors are out here writing about characters being driven to homicide because the sun was too bright. The whole damn city pisses me off. Jesus, bro. I mean, look at this shit. See that couple coming this way straight from a glitzy hotel? There's gotta be 20 years between them. The man's the older one, of course. A balding old geezer and a young lady in a chic dress walking side by side. Like... Hold up, I know that girl. That's okay, that's funny. That's Tenjiku Botan, the one who took me out to tea in Ikebukuro the other day. Huh? Well, I guess that's the way of the world. Damn, bro. Cuteness and feminine appeal don't come free. You don't have to roast her, just like, it doesn't even matter. She trades her priceless youth for cold, hard yen. Middle-aged men are flush with cash, but starved for love. So it's a win-win. She'll use that money to make herself prettier, go to Korea for a liposuction or jaw surgery, and use her ideal face to get more out of her brief youth. It's materialistic, but there's a logic to it. You don't know this, but I understand. She fawns over the man all the way down the street, and he following them until they go their separate ways. Does he have somewhere to be? I wonder what he does, so I guess we meet her after this. I'll bet he blows money on girls, then works back more than the difference. drowning out his stress with love for sale. His cash is better off bolstering young people's finances than rotting in his savings, I guess. Then again, she might just spend it all on men herself. There's a reason they say hosts are top of the food chain. I guess sugar babying isn't uncommon, but it's still a rush to see a girl I know getting in on the action. You know something? She mentioned a hotel too, earlier. She said that. Damn. Look at her though. She's plastered on that fake smile all the way down the street, but she seemed pretty real when they parted. Maybe she really likes him. I guess he's paying for her, and they're sleeping together. Better for her if she does. She turns towards me. Uh-oh. I haven't been exactly trying to hide myself, so our eyes meet right away. I wonder if she'll react badly, but she just trots up to me, the same smile. When we first met, talk about nerves of steel. Fancy meeting you here, Sensei. You're not stalking me, are you? She sounds totally unconcerned. Unconcerned, huh? There's a couple of reasons, but let's see. She sounds totally unconcerned. Is she hoping to brute force her way out of the compromising situation? I could read her mind if I wanted, but I don't feel like it. It's more fun to not know. You can't just skip to the answer page every time. So either she knows that guy and they're not doing that, like that's her father or something, I don't know. Or she thinks we're stupid. Guess we'll find out. Just passing by, I hit a wall with my book, so I headed out to clear my head. Don't worry, I'm not the kind of guy to get on your case about that kind of stuff. Damn, he brought it up quick. Even if that's true, she may not still like it, like who do you think I am? So we'll see. Aren't you even slightly curious why I'm doing it, Sensei? What type of question is that? Why would we care? Either we don't like her, so who cares? Or we did, and it doesn't matter anymore. So what? A little, I guess, but whatever's going on, I'm not gonna think less of you. That's kind of you, and cruel too. I strive to be a realist. Her breathing is uniform. She's hiding her embarrassment. She's a damn good actress. More likely, she's comfortable with what she's doing. Maybe I've misjudged her a bit. Maybe, I don't know. Before I read this, it is also possible it's cruel because he assumed whatever. So there is like multiple, but it ain't what you think, Sensei. Now, if he is wrong, the fact that he jumped so quick, he should learn something, but we know he won't. It ain't what you think, Sensei. I know there's a hotel back the way we came, but it ain't like that. I lent the ear and smiled at him, and he paid for my time, that's all. Really. Maybe only grab lunch, but I'm guessing the app you met on usually caters to more. App? She lets wealthy older men take her out to meals and earns money flattering them, while her clients feel validated by the compliments they buy. This is a thing in Japan. They do have people you can take out like Rent a Girlfriend, as long as they're both up and up. It ain't my business. I wonder how they both feel deep down. I can only speculate. Let me see, would you like to go somewhere together, Sensei? This is a funny way to meet up again, but it still feels like fate. Is getting paid to date men fate too? No, that's a survival strategy. Being alive is a constant battle, you know? Huh, interesting answer. Alright, what were you thinking? I thought so too. How about I take you on a tour of my college? I was just heading in for club. Sugar babying before college, huh? I wonder how many girls in my classes did that same thing back when I was going. I wouldn't be surprised if some of them were taking discreet shifts at the soapland, straddling men's backs for money in their free time. 1 hour of tantalizing, almost contact pays out tens of thousands of yen. So there's always takers. I wonder how much Botan made in a lunch break. Does it disgust her to think that fancy dress was paid for by old men's spare change and libido? Then again, clothes are clothes. Yes. This is pretty. I just don't want to regret my life. Everyone wants to shine, don't they? I can never make it as an idol or an influencer, but I'm still young and pretty enough to stand out in the alt crowd. She wouldn't? Why? I don't know if that's true. But there are people who would pay her bills though, as they are now. So the world doesn't reward things the right way. So it's smarter to use what I have, don't you think? Doesn't mean you don't try though. Doesn't mean you don't try. All the boys my age have empty pockets anyway. Yeah, but these are related. She don't have to be this, but something where she can make her own money. She wants it quick. That's the true problem. All they have to offer is love. And love doesn't buy nice clothes or ribbons in my hair. Not everyone can live their dreams like you can, sensei. Dude, you're young as fuck. Shut up. She acts like dude, shut up. The rest of us have to make the most of now. Where did all that come from? I don't fucking know. You're gonna write about this, aren't you, sensei? I can see it on your face. You got me. I do understand, though. As much as a guy can. I don't think it's that deep, to be honest, about like so much so that they're like a different gender. No, bro. She wants this stuff quick. So yeah, if she did try to be an influencer, she seems pretty clever at least. I don't know about creative, but clever. And girls start with an advantage because of the gender disparity. I don't know about in their day and age, but yeah. However, guys tend to have higher retention because if a guy sticks around, he probably likes you for you, not because you're just attractive. You know, assuming he's into women. Right? Because of the things you talk about, for example. And that's why most top streamers are men. I'm not saying she would be top 100 or anything, but she could definitely probably make it. Like I said, they can pay her bills probably. When people say make it, it's like, what do you mean by that? You know? I'm not saying she'll be globally popular, but she don't have to be. She can make above minimum wage, for example. So I don't know. I get if you have no personality, it could hurt, but still though, there's still people who do enough. And by the time you leave, you're replaced already. So I'm sure I do some sugar babying or concept cafe work if I was your age. I can sympathize with wanting to make money off yourself while you're still worth something. There are different routes, so if she prefers this one, but to say she can't at all, I mean, she knows more than me, maybe not, but I don't know. Right now, I can upload. Why'd it turn dark? The hell? Right now, I can upload a photo shoot in pretty clothes and get the whole world to come see. I don't want to miss this only chance I'll get for unconditional adoration. Funny, it's the other way around for guys. You get out of school, you start slaving away, banking cash so you can throw their weight around. Sell your youth to buy middle-aged sex. I guess it's a question of whether you want your debauchery early or late. But you're different, sensei. You became a writer. The way they're talking about this is so like jagged and stupid. These are apath. They're so fucking stupid. I'm sure a lot of people are jealous of you. And I don't think you're bad in the looks department either. Thanks, I guess. But contrarians like me aren't part of the equation. We get to live unusual lives, but we'll never be happy. The way I was born, I don't get to be happy. Yes, yeah, say this, not the, like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's exactly why I can't find it in me to scoff at people like her. Cause you just said your friend from before can't be happy either, essentially. So shut up. Who are chasing it with all they've got. Everyone should be happy if they can manage it. This is my club. The Manga Research Society. You're in the manga club, huh? I know what you're thinking, sensei. No one here really cares about manga. This is just a place for losers who want to be part of something that don't want to commit, and I'm a dumb bimbo who loves being their queen. I didn't say that. I mean, well, you didn't say it, but I don't know what he thought either, I'm just saying. The irony of what he said. I was in the lit club myself back in the day. Although it's true most people at these places don't really care about being creative. If you say so, sensei. Alright, my loyal drones are waiting. Time to muster all the spark of my youth and live out the best life of luxury an ordinary girl can hope for. Now I use my ill-gotten looks to indulge in the desire and validation of penniless students and wallow in fleeting ecstasy. You make it sound so wonderful. No, she didn't. Botan's a strange girl, indeed. She's a temperate, sure, but she keeps her sights low. Online, she barely stands out, and in real life, she's sticking to old men on dating apps and the insecure losers at her club. Her cunning is oddly self-aware. Frail even. Admirable though, somehow. It's always nice to meet someone living true to themselves. Maybe there's a novel in this. Is it wrong to pawn your innocence to make the most of your fleeting youth? That could fly as a central theme. It's contemporary. Don't know if it will work out in a light novel, but it seems worth exploring. Call it taking a swing. So this song might be the baseball thing. Or a young author's gamble. Some things you just can't write convincingly unless you're around the right age. Master Hoshi. Maybe I can't delight the world with outlandish science fiction like you can, but by putting the curious subtleties of human experience into words, but I can illustrate the lives of people fighting to defy reality's cruelties. Her eyes, though, have a foxy gleam. It's hard to look away. She's pretty, yeah. I like her character. Did you find an idea for your book yet, Oni-chan? I did, and I finally got some sunlight too. I'm feeling a little better today. I don't like the sun. The moon's much nicer. The sun makes everything all muggy and hot. Exactly. But the moon watches over us gently. I see why you like it. Your skin is so pale and your hair is white. You're much more made for nighttime. Writers are made for nighttime too. Depends, I guess. But what will you write under the moon's faint light, Oni-chan? I'm thinking maybe about female strength. You're going to write about strength? About a kind of strength that knows its own limitations, its own weakness. Do you think you're weak, Oni-chan? I wonder. I still produce serotonin like everyone else when I walk around in the afternoon. I act all misanthropic, but I'm just an animal, really. So maybe that's weakness, but there's honesty to it that I find appealing too. Do you think honesty is strength or weakness? Strength, because the alternative is lying. Some lies take strength, but if you're being a coward and afraid to be yourself and you can't be honest at all, then it's weak. I don't think it's strength to speak without thinking, but defying social expectations to stay true to yourself, that's a kind of strength, exactly. Maybe. I find it hard to see the difference. Maybe I should ask the moon. There is a difference. It depends on the context. But if you're just a liar, then that is weak. But I understand if there's like an important lie, for whatever reason, which is hard to think of currently, to be honest, that does take strength. But in general, no. Good idea. I'll ask it for you, whether the two of us are weak. I don't think the moon will tell you. It's too kind. That's what makes it so strong. You should go to sleep while it's still looking down on us, Oni-chan. Alright, sweet dreams, Sahana. It's okay, Oni-chan. It's okay. You'll be okay. Why am I scared? What is she saying, bro? Like, what is this? So, I guess these are stories and we keep clicking one. Let's click her again, I guess. Or is the order predetermined? No, this is her. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, who took their lamps and went forth to meet their bridegroom. They that were foolish took their lamps, and took no oil with them, but the wise took their oil in their vessels with their lamps. Matthew 25:14, KJV, fuck. No. Fuck is that? I'm scared. You know, Sensei, I'm not as calculating as you think, Sensei. You think I'm some black-hearted temptress who seduces every man she meets, don't you, Sensei? You think I'm the first obstacle in your career as a writer, here to catch a free ride on your accomplishments, don't you, Sensei? But you know, Sensei, you always act like you can read people's minds, so I bet you don't know. Yeah, what the hell? How does she know this, though? So I bet you know all about my thoughts already, don't you, Sensei? No. I'm scared, no. With my second book still incomplete, my embarrassing debut found limited success, becoming a conversation point in certain subcultures. I won't complain about more fans, but when they're all talking like they found a promising diamond in the rough, I feel I'm in a precarious position. Take their attention for granted, and before I know it, I'll be wallowing in the past glories at the bar with the rest of the has-beens. Fuck. One girl somehow likes my maiden work enough to cosplay one of the characters. Not some nobody either. A real cosplayer with 20k followers. Apparently, I'm a promising enough investment to be worth trying to get in on the ground floor. I refuse to let it go to my head, but I still retweet it on my own account. There I go, letting someone else inside the fortress of my timeline. A cosplayer I don't even know, no less. The flesh is weak indeed, but I'm flattered. I can't deny it. I'm only human. Oh, you know, dude, that's okay. God. The creator is God to the fans, it seems. Immediately, I wouldn't go that far, but there are people, I guess. She goes off about getting noticed by the author. I even get a thank you in my replies. What kind of golden calf shit is this? I should be thanking her for reading my book, let alone evangelizing it. Divine attention, however, will elevate her rank among the faithful. This kind of interaction isn't part of the traditional authorship. It's a product of the modern age. Put tactfully, you're cultivating a fan community. Put more cynically, you're doing PR. Success is the cure for all a writer's woes. I need to write another novel. Yes, a manuscript, a book, any words at all. A one-shot? Maybe? Do you believe in feminine intuition, sensei? Oh yeah, women are more fragile, so they need to be more sensitive to danger. It makes sense they develop a heightened awareness to threats. You're always so logical, sensei. I think I got what it feels like. My intuition's pretty good too. That's true. You always seem like you can see right through people. Don't know about her though. I don't know that it's about seeing exactly. Maybe it is, but you seem pretty perceptive yourself. Like all women, able to read the room? Or maybe you mean the way people pleasers knows what everyone's thinking. If you have to put it snarkily, then I guess. I think you're the sensitive one, sensei. True. I'm just nervous, that's all. My intuition has nothing to do with logic. It's just something I was born with. A sense of destiny. Maybe it was destiny even before birth. Since the moment my genes decided to make me a woman. Ha, girls your age go in for that stuff, huh? Destiny and astrology and all that. I didn't mention astrology. I stand by what I said though. It's fate. What's this face she's making? Hold on. Then what does your fate have in store for you? Funny you should ask, sensei. I think pretty soon it'll be all over for me. What? Why? Because everything I've ever tried to hide is going to be exposed to the last person I want to see it. No. So are we gonna read her mind? Find fucked up shit then kill her? Dude, don't do that. Don't do that, please. Don't do that. Don't smile either. What the heck? Although really, I think they always knew. They just pretended not to see. Haha. It seems so weird when I say it out loud. When you say it'll all be over, what do you mean? That's for you to decide, sensei. Dude, stop this. I can tell you know, that's fate. One woman's destiny. But who decided it? God? I don't think I'll know until I die. Feminine intuition isn't a spiritual thing. But if God is the one who decided that was, blame the author, not me, is the one who decided what was stamped onto my DNA, then I suppose it must be him. Ugh. This sucks. Botan and I started to see each other more after that. I want to write. I want to finish my second book. But why is that? Because I want more girls oohing and eyeing over me? I don't know, man. Can't be. Praise from a guy with similar tastes would just make me happy. Just as happy. Then who do I want to impress? Not some cosplayer for sure. I don't give a shit about a girl who's gonna move right on to the skimpiest character design from whatever gacha tops the sales ranking next week. Oh my goodness. I mean, I guess he don't seem that into her. Is she related to Sahana somehow? Cause I don't understand Sahana's purpose. Clearly Sahana is a big deal. Somehow. Are these like characters in like a book for Sahana? I don't understand. Like if you read her mind, what would happen? But in that case, in our cynicism, we nihilists take the reductionist view of love, that it's more biology, a defect of the brain, defect, fate at work. The more you interact with someone, the more you fixate on them, and the more mental space they occupy. Once that crosses a threshold, you think about them constantly. If that's all love is, then, like I let myself believe that, in her dreams. I did try for a while. There have been times when, as we take our time to get to know each other and open up enough to understand each other, I've considered letting her in, but that wouldn't help anything. You can actually share what's in your head. I've been keenly aware of that since I was little. What is he talking about? Now, I've given up hope for more. That's not a sentiment talking, just experience. Say, in a moment of madness, I let myself believe we wound up dating. I'd be stuck in a relationship where I had to pretend I was opening up while hiding the real truth. I know how these things go. What is the real truth? I don't understand what is he talking about? What the fuck is he talking about? What truth? What truth is she talking about even? You can't share it. Pretend? Ugh, whatever. I don't need to read Botan's mind to know the color of her thoughts. We have similar sensibilities, I think. In that sense, she's the ideal reader for my work. Or maybe, after enough conversation, I convinced myself to think that. If I pushed ahead with this mistake, that would lead to marriage and children. An unimaginable future with a coward like me. How are the many, many couples in the world so afraid of the yawning chasm between two people? Now, granted, by the way, clearly we still have to go back to the fact that he kills people. I'd be shocked if that didn't happen. So the question is, how is that linked? How is that linked to Sahana? And this, in the end, all we do is find the safe distance, toe a line we're too scared to cross, act like our insubstantial conversations bring us a little closer, but as one moves forward, the other pulls back, and the gap never shrinks. Okay, so he's afraid of commitment. Got it. I don't have to read her mind. I'm sure she feels the same. That's all he does, Sensei. She's a siren, and we're tempting each other with our songs. I saw you flirting with that cosplayer online, Sensei. How does it feel to see a pretty girl dressed up as someone from your work? You can't talk because of what you do, but I understand. She feigns jealousy, gauging the distance yet again. We're equally defective. Both of us try to take the high ground, demanding you first, not me. A pair of cowards. There's a such thing as two alike. I don't think so, to be honest. I think in the most linear-minded way possible, you can think, oh, two people similar, blah, 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 blah. But I feel like when people are opposite, what's the word? That's cool, but that can also create chaos. Like, again, there's bad things for every type of thing. People who are similar are still different. Clearly, he learned about her this whole time. So, you know what I mean? And they can keep learning. They can have different hobbies, but it's cool they're similar. Like, as like a grounded, you know what I mean? However, obviously there's a problem. But you don't really like her, do you, Sensei? You think she's just trying to hitch her wagon to the next big thing. You tell yourself you're too smart to fall for her tricks. So it's okay to let her stroke your ego. Feminine intuition. Not so different from what I have, perhaps. I guess not. Maybe tonight you'll check her profile to see if she's posted anything new. And every time you look, you'll make up a reason to tell yourself it's okay. I wish she wouldn't say that, but she will. What is that face she's making? Like a teasing thing? How's that any different from me sitting in the laps of boys at school? Which one of us is biologically superior? Maybe both of us. You and me, we can both attract attention from the opposite sex. We're just two peacocks spreading our fans, aren't we, Sensei? Come on, you know I'm right. Yeah, things would be much easier if we were birds. What are you replying to, Sensei? Does it need to be something in particular? We're already kind of talking by feel. I mean, it's not like I can make eye contact. Why? Is he avoiding it? Oh, you're a psychic, Sensei. Why can't he make eye contact? Judging by the wicked smile on her lips, she knows what I mean. She's making me out like I'm crazy, but only because I blink first. Sensei, Sensei, Sensei. Do you know the parable of the 10 virgins, Sensei? Call yourself a writer. You must at least have tried to read Gospels. 10 virgins go out with lamps to see the bridegroom, but half of them forgot to bring oil. The foolish one's lamps go out on the way, and they aren't allowed into the bridegroom's house. The Gospels call the virgins who brought the oil the wise ones. But you know, Sensei, I don't think that's fair. Is it wrong to run ahead so eagerly you forget about some greasy oil lamp? Doesn't that just show your sincerity? I guess it depends on the intent, to be honest. I still think you don't really understand me, Sensei. With all your wisdom, you've gotten one thing wrong, okay? All we're trying to do is live with all our might, spitting in God's eye to revel in being alive and young. I'm the kind of girl who forgets her oil. You know, Sensei, we girls are purer of heart than you think. You know, Sensei, I think my fate is almost here. He better not kill her, I swear to God. Not again, bro. I'm scared. Dude. Look. No. Don't tell me. Don't tell me he kills her. Don't tell me. That's bullshit. I want you to complete me, sensei. The artwork Tenjiku Botan. By myself, I'm just an unremarkable e-girl. Even in my little corner of the world, I struggle to stand out. But even so, I don't want to just be girl A, another face in the crowd you passed on your way to stardom. Do you ever want to die, sensei? I do quite often. That's why I cling so fiercely to life. I sit on boys' laps, visit old bookshops in search of myself, go to art house cinemas, all hoping to find something that will make me special. I really do like paintings, you know. See for yourself, I'm sure you can. How do you know this? Then again, you're an artist too. Maybe you don't need to read my mind. When I said I saw a girl with a pearl earring and wished that could be me, I wasn't trying to put on airs. It really did touch my heart. There and then I thought, if I can't live like this girl in the painting, life has let me down. Dreaming a bit too big, right? Haha. Vermeer ruined my life. And to put it like that, doesn't it sound romantic? What about the rest, you ask? The depressing books and cult classic movies? A third of it was real, maybe. The rest just me trying to impress you. I wanted someone like you to think I have value, to lift me out of the muck. I'm different. I see the sadness in your story and I want to give it a hug. Like an animal crying, As in calling or weeping. What's the difference, really? Even that parable from the Gospels I just quoted is because it's the only part I know. My whole life is like that. What, your work? You want to hear what I actually think? Dear me, sensei. Surely an established author like yourself doesn't care what some silly girl has to say about it. Teehee. Toying with people gives me a little bit of superiority, you see. It helps me stave off the desire for death, for the time being, while I'm still young. But you wanted to know what I thought. Where did you put this? Like, you're writing this down, or? Rest assured, your book really did strike a chord with me. Rest assured, your book really did strike a chord with me. I know I'm just pretending to be cultured, but I'd like to think I do know talent when I see it. Your writing is unique, self-indulgent, like nothing else. The tall sky is too much for me to handle, but I can see why you like him so much, or why you aspire to be him, maybe. There's an amateur innocence to it too, like you want to throw structure and writing sense out the window and just ask your audience to get it. A naive child acting out to get his parents' attention, in a way I can't help but love. I wonder if that's what you were going for. If it wasn't, it makes me want to hug you after all. But I did enjoy it, the rough edges and all. Well, that's cool. Don't worry though, you've got the talent in you to make a book that sells, but unpolished. You're not as impressive a writer as you think, but that's what I love about you. I'm sure you'll write a masterpiece someday, sensei. You can transmute your loneliness into art. That's a rare gift, and I happily give myself to it. You're a vampire drinking young woman's blood and turning it to prose. So drink my soul, shed your innocence, and tell an even more self-indulgent story that captures even more people's hearts. Dude, you better not die, actually. Is she actually gonna die? Do we just kill everybody if we keep clicking the thing? In your story, I can live forever. Can you calm down, please? Hurt me, sensei, torment me. Rip my veneered heart open and peer inside. You can look, sensei. See all of me, everything beneath the shallow pretense. Hold on. Hey, kind of sick to be honest. What? Bitch? I wish it was brighter. That's like a real thumbnail. Please, dude, please don't do this. But it does make sense because we didn't really get anywhere with these people. So, you know, I kind of get like, it had to go somewhere. And spear my blackened viscera with brutal honesty. I get it, you know, sensei. I get to relish this for now, playing the femme fatale, seducing the naive young writer. But the day will come when you don't need a fraud like me. That's why I was scared to get closer to you. The sugar daddy and my classmates fawn over me now. But only because I'm young. I'm not like you. I can't sustain myself on blood. I can only watch in terror as my worth dwindles day by day. I don't need to tell you what I am. I don't know anything about Danzai, Akutagawa, Renosuke. The Kurosawa movie I watched bored me to tears. I couldn't figure out what anyone was saying. I can't tell Chopin or Mozart. I'm just getting by with vague knowledge and guesswork. I've never been clever. Thank goodness you wrote a light novel, Sensei. If it had been anything else more challenging, I would have never been brave enough to reach out. Dude, this is already pretty, you know what I mean, over here. I try so hard to be intriguing enough to catch your eye. I think she's fine, dude. Like, shut up, you're thinking too much, just like him. Whatever. But that was the beginning of my downfall. I could tell you were a true genius. That's the instinct again. Down here at the bottom of the food chain, we're alert to predators. And I quickly realized you could swallow me whole. It's funny because this could be interpreted as just like simping too, or like being insecure, but I'm a believer. Writers have the strangest power, Sensei. You so rarely look me in the eye, but when I do catch you staring, it feels like my heart is an open book. Soon, I realized you already knew everything I had to hide. It felt like fate. I knew judgment was coming sooner or later. I know better than anyone how shallow I really am. Society isn't lenient enough to let pseudo-intellectual jade like me live, but it ain't kind enough to give me a beautiful end either. I spent every day feeling so inferior I could die. I was so glad to find something real. Dude, are you actually gonna die somehow? I knew at once that you were going to kill me. The certainty swept through my DNA and scrambled my brain before my heart could even think of love. Finally, I would be free. I'd found my fate. I'd never been so happy. So there it is, the whole truth. Or at least the part I can testify in my own awkward words. But I'm sure you can reach in and drag out more than that. Kill me, Sensei. Dude, can we stop with this? Please? This is just fucked up. No. What are they doing? What are they doing? I have to click. What are they talking about? This is so stupid. Can we fuck off? What is this? What is this? What is this? You can't think of any way to become a tragic heroine except dying. You're just a weakling who never thought to put in work. We have to click all of these? I hate this, bro. Rather than regret selling your body, you single-mindedly hunt for chances to make everyone pity you for having had no choice. That's how little value you placed on yourself. A low-grade animal who consoles herself night after night on the thrill of being validated by unremarkable men. You barely have an opinion of your own. You never once believe your own taste was right. You're papering over your own nothingness all over again. I don't understand why we have to do this. Like, how the fuck is this related to the story at all? Let's do this, I guess. Like, I hate this. I don't want to, though. Dude, are you serious? I hate this game. What? Can we please revert this, please? I hate this. So how did we get here is my question. Like, do I have to click everybody's stuff? Like, balance it out? Can you please live? What? I hate this. I clicked away, bro. Ah, Sensei, I'm so happy, I'm so happy. No one's ever pulled my guts out like this. Now, this is goodbye. Please, Sensei, capture this moment in a photograph. That's right, just like that. You know, no, you don't need to show me. I'm going to be your story now. I don't need to see any more of reality. Just promise me you'll take me out and look at me from time to time, frozen in eternity. I'll wait for your new book down in hell, Sensei. Thank you, Sensei. Thank you for passing on the story of my life. Thank you for letting me in it as a curious character in your tale. One last thing, Sensei. Let me lay a curse on you before I go. Which will be what? Sensei, I loved you like no one ever will. Really? I hate this. I'm so mad. This looks like a fucking Ahigao type thing, but I'm actually pissed. What is the point even? Like, what? How is this even? The thing hanging from a rope is no fairy tale princess, but the corpse of a woman, of a grown woman, her legs streaked with excreta, her mouth bubbling with froth, her eyes bulging from their sockets, and her grotesque death mask, a far cry from beautiful. What is the point? She wanted to die, she said so herself. She sensed she had gone far, as she could in this cruel reality. Rather than watch herself decay, she wanted to perceive her beauty at its zenith. She wanted this. I gave her what she asked for. She wanted, dude, fuck off. All she wanted was for me to write about her, so she told me so. This was fine, right? No. Me a vampire? That made me laugh. And my excuse for writing? For having rough edges. Don't you know, creators and innocent babies, pretty rude for someone who calls herself my #1 fangirl. Can I really drink a soul? What a fucking idiot. Can I do stuff different? Hello, help me. Welcome back, Oni-chan. Hey, Sahana. Oni-chan, there's blood on your lips. What happened? Nothing much. I got surprised and bit my lip, that's all. No, that ain't your blood. You look like Dracula. Since when did I write to feed off others? Did you kill her too? I thought I was writing my own salvation. They're all the same thing. When other people don't exist in your mind, there's no distinction between yourself and others. It's all just you. You drink your own blood so you can write to save yourself. You know, I never really thought I was good enough to be a writer. I'm faking it till I make it, just like everyone else. Struggling with your identity is a part of being a writer, Oni-chan. Writers live to test their worth against a manuscript. They sit down and let their pen decide whether they're worthy to create. You talk like a real know-it-all for someone who's never written a word. Hehehe. Anyway, I feel ready to write the best sophomore effort the world's ever seen. Just you watch. I bet it'll get an anime. You look really determined, Oni-chan. All bursting with energy, like you've gotten over a broken heart. I'm sure you'll write something you could be proud of. A broken heart, you think? I'm not interested in love. I'll marry my art. Okay. Good. Okay, Now, I want to tell you what my next book's going to be about. Go ahead. I'm always here for you, Oni-chan. So the female lead is a sexy villainess who tries to seduce the protagonist. Dude, it's his first book, Murders too. But then she starts to realize she's just a part of the story. I like it. I'm sure to make a good book. Good luck, Sensei to be. Sensei to be? I'm so pissed. What's wrong, Oni-chan? You were crying in your sleep. Fuck him, dude, I don't care. Fuck him, I do not care, dude, he sucks. Are you suffering? Are you sad? You look like you have regrets. Fuck him, dude, I didn't mean to do that. You don't usually toss and turn like this. Go to the police, bro, fuck you. You were thrashing about like a man possessed. What are you fucking, I don't care, bro, I'm done. I'm done, that shit pissed me off. That shit pissed me off, like, wow. That's all we do, bro. That's all we do. We're just a fucking spider and we descend to ruin everything. That's all we do. I'm so mad. Like, this fucking sucks, dude. Damn. So you just fucking hang out and kill them? Piece of shit, bro. I hope there's like a way to not do this or expose the truth somehow. I don't know. Maybe in the end, these are all characters. I don't know. Fucking annoying, bro. I'm taking a break. Leave a like for the next part, I suppose. Leave a like if you enjoyed this or want the next part or whatever. Dude, what the fuck? I can't click it. I know I can, but it just sucks, dude. Depressing. That shit sucks, bro. He'll kill his mom and dad too? Okay, let's click Dokudami, I guess, and then we'll pick up next time. We'll do him next. We'll do Dokudami next. Unfortunately. Oh, I can't save, so I'll click here. Dude, I hope Dokudami kicks his ass, and then yeah, it's over. That'd be cool. Marilyn Monroe? Nah, just a dummy. The road of seduction leads straight to hell. Who are we, Adam and Eve, cast out from Eden? Crazed summer lust bears its keen fangs, madness and sanity, together in heaven. Southern All-Stars, Erotica 7. I don't care, bro. I'm good. I'm so mad. Skulls too? Fuck off. Talking to us, probably. Fuck them. I'm good. Later.